Hi, everybody. Welcome to Shadows of Nox. I am Grim. I will be GMing today. We will be playing Chill 2nd Edition. For those of you who are unfamiliar, it is a game made by Mayfair Games. It is a bit older, so some of the rules are kind of wonky, but it's similar to games you may have played if you've played Call of Cthulhu. This is a D100 roll under system, so it's not too hard to grasp, hopefully. I've got a little spiel here about the game itself. Forgive me if this is terrible, but I didn't rehearse it, so The supernatural is a hotly debated subject. Is it real? Is it myth? What determines when or where a supernatural event occurs? Some say that ley lines are one of many ways to find points of spiritual and mystical confluence. Some subscribe to geomancy and the study of the land, and others still feng shui. Hunter Blackwood University is a place said to have an unusually high number of reported incidents. Some say that Hunter Blackwood was the hunter of the supernatural, and a curse followed his name. Some say he purposely created a confluence of various magical and mystical artifacts to create a vortex that draws in the supernatural. Others say he used as many different methods as possible to choose the location of the school for its magical significance. No matter the reason, strange things happen at Hunter Blackwood University, and these are the case files of S.P.O.O.F, the scholarly paranormal and occult opposition force. These are the case files of the events as documented by members of S.P.O.O.F over the years. Welcome to the case of Sound and Waves. Anyway, more for introduction for me. Should have done that better, but whatever. That's what I get for not rehearsing. You can catch me here on Shadows of Nox doing a bunch of stuff. We're currently on break, but I am the GM for Being Villainous, which we run using Evil Hat's Fate system. I am in all of the Power Ranger stuff currently going on. At the time of this recording, we have just finished the finale for season 3 of the Power Rangers podcast, in which I play the Green Ranger. I am on Power Ranger Centurion as the Red Ranger. You can occasionally catch me on Lucas G Variety when we have it playing Fallout as the Vault Dweller Lucky. And I will be in Isabeth's Halloween Spectacular Alien Killathon. Hopefully I will survive. Maybe I won't. It's Alien, who knows?
Not gonna survive, buddy.
I'm the medic. You guys should want me to survive. Just saying. That's pretty much it for me. I'm gonna go to the loudmouth who decided to talk while I was doing my intro first. Go ahead, Joe.
Hi, everybody. My name is Joe, also known as Clockwork Tuba. You can find me on Twitch or YouTube under that name, or pretty much all the socials across the board. Ooh, big. Hi. I am now large and in charge over everyone. Wahaha. No, anyway. I do cozy games generally on my channel, or big stumpy robots. Both of them are always fun. And one time a cozy game with big stumpy robots. Anyway, you can find me on Shadow of Nox, on basically an assorted list of games. Tuesday nights, basically, we alternate between Shadowrun, or Avatar.
Forgot about that.
You did. Now who's being the loudmouth and interrupting my introduction? Basically, you can find Grim, Kit, Rezin, and a couple other people playing those games. So yes, watch us, check us out. It's great. I'm in an assorted spattering across the October one shots or short shots, including the Isabeth Spooktacular at the end of the thing, where I definitely am going to die. I'm probably going to die first.
We can make it happen.
Are we introducing characters yet, or no?
You can't. Go ahead.
Tonight I am playing Professor Cuthbert Cropper, a tenured old professor of antiquity and art history, who just basically trying to make it to full on retirement age. Like he's just cruising that 10-year life till he gets to the end. I don't know why there's hammering going on upstairs. I'm gonna mute myself. Bye.
Excellent. Well, continuing on, the going counterclockwise as I see people on Discord. I'm gonna pick Kit.
Oh no, not me. I'm Kit. I'm going to be in a couple of the one-shots here on Shadow of Nox for spooky season, since the being villainous is not occurring, which makes me sad. I can't be my fun owl necromancer. But, oh well, such is the nature of things. I can also be found on Jesus, my chair tried to kill me. We haven't even got started yet. On Lucas G Variety, whenever those get run, where I play V4/C70R, or if you prefer, Victor, because I have once again foolishly made a character name I hate saying. For this game, I'm going to be playing Kenneth Kane, track and field scholarship, looking to get his degree in archaeology, because I saw the Indiana Jones movies, and clearly this is the career path for me. I'm going to do a great job.
Yeah.
Assuming I can pass any of my classes, which I can't.
Assuming. All right, and we're going to continue going counterclockwise as I see people on Discord. That means, Rezin, you're up next.
Yes. Good evening, interwebs. I'm Rezin the Owlbear here on Twitch. You can also find me in a variety of wonderful, beautiful, magical things happening here on the Shadow of Nox. Check it out. I'm literally probably booked for every single thing, I think, except for one. I've overbooked myself. Might love the Shadow of Nox just a tad too much. You can also find me occasionally over on the YouTube channel Into the Darkness, where they post their our games of Call of Cthulhu. So check those out. And you can also occasionally, very rarely, find me over on the Delegation of Dreamers, where we sometimes play D&D, sometimes play Pathfinder ? Otherwise, tonight I'm playing Bob Ivan Herald, if you understand that reference. Hey. And if not, go Ghostbusters. He is working on his psychology major at the current moment in time so that he can be a psychiatrist. And he's in his last run. This is it for him. No more college after this nonsense, hopefully.
Someone's trying to get their doctorate.
Yep.
Okay. Continuing on again with the counterclockwise. We have a newcomer to Shadows of Nox. Say hi.
Hey, I'm DarkerThanGrey. You can find me under the same name over on Twitter, where I occasionally post the odd art or writing blurb. This is my first time doing anything relating to streaming tabletop games, so we'll see how it goes. I'm totally not nervous. I'm not shaking at all.
You'll be fine. I've run games for you before.
Yep. That have ended well, ? Yeah, I'll be playing as a lovely 42-year-old German mother named Heidi Bäcker. She has been a janitor for the last 15 years since she immigrated to the lovely Americas. She will hit you with a mop if you threaten people that she likes.
That sounds like fun. All right, and last but certainly not least, we are going to introduce our wonderful tech person, Isabeth.
Hi, I'm Isabeth, or Elizabeth. I am everywhere all the time. I am in the Power Rangers games. I am in the podcast as a Red Ranger. We just, as you said, finished recording season 3, and this damn GM made me cry again. I hate that man so much. I'm also in the
And
Power
yet
Rangers.
you don't.
I don't. I love him to death. He's one of my best friends. I adore him. I actually kind of wish that he was here tonight, because he normally does like the whole like he's our grand host of everything, and he loves going through everything. But since my partner in crime is not here, it's up to me. I'm also in Power Rangers Centurion as the Blue Ranger, Jules Verne. That is every other Wednesday here at Shadows of Nox. I'm also in Fallout with Grim and Kit over on Lucas G Variety as Quinn the Mercenary. And she really, really does not like either of them because they're both Vault Dwellers and they're very, very annoying.
I don't know what your problem is. We're great.
Yeah. So you say. Where else am I? Coming soon, you will be able to find me over on Enchanting Sorcery Productions, running another Call of Cthulhu game that I'm calling The Forgotten, where I'm taking all of the players. They're on a bus and they are going to get dropped into some place that they can't get out of, and they're going to have to figure out what the hell's going on and how to get home. And I'm going to send all sorts of creepy monsters after them. It's going to be a great time.
I'm going to call it Spooky Town USA.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Okay, what else am I forgetting? Power Rangers, Call of Cthulhu. I feel like I'm forgetting. I'm running Alien for Halloween. Duh.
Just the big finale.
Yeah.
The finale
just
on
what this
Halloween.
month's building up to.
Yeah. I'm running Alien RPG.
Great job.
Thank you so much. All month long, every time we are running a game, we are doing a raffle for a mystery box that my dear friend John is going to send to some lucky person. I'm not sure what's in the box, to be completely honest. I know he is going to bake something, and you want to win that because he is actually a really, really good baker, and every so often he sends me stuff, and I love him for it. So hashtag spooky snacks in the chat. You can enter twice per game. Please give me like a 5-minute cooldown before you like start spamming it because I'm the one keeping track this session. And I'm running tech and I'm playing in the game, so I just need a minute to make sure I have everything going on. So yeah, that is what we're doing every game this month. Tomorrow we're doing The Coming of Apophysis, which is a Cortex Prime system one-shot. All I know is that we're going to be on a cruise ship and we are going to have zombies, and Joe, Ava, and I are going to be a happy little family, and it's going to be hilarious.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that is my
Nothing
intro.
bad could possibly happen.
I know, right? It's gonna be fine. John's gonna be a petulant teenager. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be.
Nothing bad happens on cruise ships. I don't know what you're talking about.
Stream channel. I mean.
But yeah, I think that is it for me. If I forgot something, I'll remember it at some point.
You can also go to twitch.com/Isabits to watch Isabit stream her own content when she plays Warframe and Once Human and a bunch of other games like that.
Yeah, we've already moved
Go
on.
Watch her.
We don't need to talk about that. I'm done
Yeah,
now.
too bad.
You can please take over.
Yeah. Well, that concludes the introductions. Hooray! I was not expecting everybody to want to chime into that, but you know what? That's the fun part of being at a table. As I mentioned in the little blurb, this game is set in a university. There's no specific place for it because I want you to wonder. Hunter Blackwood University is nestled in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains, on the western edge of the mountains, somewhere in the general vicinity of like Kentucky and Tennessee. If you want a general idea of what kind of environment, at least weather-wise, the players are dealing with.
Yeah, for something you want us to wonder about, you just gave us a lot of specific information.
Yeah, but that's just a somewhere.
Okay.
The players themselves, we mostly have mostly students. Luckily, I was surprised when I had my first couple of ideas were faculty and staff. I was like, okay. Hopefully, we get some students in here because that's what I want to deal with. Each one of you is going about your day in the middle of the fall semester. It is about this time of year, actually. So it gives you an idea of what you're dealing with in terms of, for some of you, classes, for some of you, your other responsibilities. For those of you who actually take classes or teach, it is late morning. Are you in class? Are you between classes? What's going on? We're going to start, I don't know, eeny, meeny, miny, Kit, what are you up to about 10:30 in the morning in the middle of the fall semester?
Probably in class, doing a poor job of it, but trying very hard. Taking down the notes and trying. I can definitely stay awake. Yeah, no, this 10:30. That's fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. Okay. Since you forgot to intro your character, Isabeth, we're gonna figure out what you're up to next, and you can also intro your character.
I
Congratulations.
forgot. I'm sorry. I had too much to say. I am playing Alexis Fletcher. I'm not sure how old she is. She's probably like maybe 21, 22. Probably like 21. She's a journalism student. She's she's quite smart. She's the type of person that will do anything for her story. She does not care. She has to break in to somebody's house if she has to ask incredibly invasive questions. She doesn't care. I think she is probably at the newsroom bugging her editor about this time.
That works.
How dare you change my blast paper?
This is better, I
Right.
promise.
For sake of people getting an idea, this particular case happens in the year 1996. So for those of us who were alive during that time, you have an idea what technology looks like. For those of us who weren't, or for those of you who aren't, feel free to ask questions about whether or not something existed. We can probably tell you it didn't. Since we're on the trend of students, we're going to go with Rezin next.
Yes. So you find Bob Ivan sitting at his in his dorm room. He's currently feverishly typing probably the last, hopefully, paper of the year. He's working diligently on it. He has been for several days. This is no exception. He only has a few classes. He doesn't have to super worry about like, oh, I missed this class. It's not the end of the world. They're just points at the end of the day. This is what takes priority. And we cut to him like finally getting up, stretching, moving, and then heading out to looking over at his probably passed out roommate. He goes, "You gonna go get coffee? You want anything?"
Your roommate's just gonna kind of wave his hand at you and just like wave you along. He's gonna point at the pile of caffeinated sodas that are just empty on his desk.
Yeah, you should have been drinking coffee. It doesn't do that to you. I told you about those sugar crashes, man. Never listen. Anyways, I'll be back.
Excellent. You're headed out to go get some coffee. That works. Let's see. Let's go with Professor Cropper next. What are you doing? Are you teaching? Are you doing office hours? What are you up to?
I think that currently at the moment I am standing over a desk where Kenneth Kane is sleeping. And I'm staring. I've stopped my lecture and I'm staring down at him. And then I do the mean '90s teacher thing of taking the biggest book in the entire classroom, and then just dropping it on the desk next to his head. Mr. Kane,
Waterloo. Yep. Yes. Hello. Yes.
we're discussing Queen Hatshepsut in the 13th Dynasty.
Yeah. Love Hatshepsut. Yeah.
Okay. She was an Egyptian queen. They weren't labeled in dynasties. Mr. Kane, are you paying attention?
Yes.
All right then. I turn back to I have zero charisma with this character. So I turn back and it's immediately the longest droning thing about Queen Hatshepsut ever. Out. Yeah. I don't think Professor Cropper even makes it back to the board before Ken's out again.
I'm
feel like-
definitely not the only one falling.
Oh, absolutely not. You're just the one I pick on because you introduced yourself the very first day of my very first history class with you, however many years ago when you started, saying that you wanted to be Indiana Jones, and I've made it my personal mission to abuse you that that's not what archaeologists do, and you have not yet learned this.
I'm the best at learning. You don't know.
I feel like Professor Cropper's class is actually mostly filled with tape recorders that are just propped up to be able to pick up his lectures, and the classroom is mostly empty.
Yeah, the big old school one and one Teddy Ruxpin for some reason.
The only tape recorder I could afford, man.
I'll act like I know what that is.
Nope, we're not doing that. You're supposed to hurt me in game, not out. Let's
Right?
go. Let's go.
Damn,
Somebody
kids, get
feel-
off my lawn.
Feeling old yet?
I was going to say,
will
somebody
score.
feel free to educate the youngin as to what Teddy Ruxpin is.
No, we're not. No, I don't have
No.
time to fix
If
him
not,
right now.
if not,
I
I
got
will.
it. I
The
got it.
world's creepiest
Teddy
teddy bear.
Ruxpin.
Keep going. I'll take care of it.
Anyway,
Ugh.
so we have some interesting interactions going on. We need to find out what our last person is up to. So Heidi, where are you? What are you doing? Are you on shift? Are you off shift? Are you stalking your daughter? As you mentioned, you're playing a helicopter mom.
At
Just
this
the
current
worst
moment, you said
put
it's
it.
like late morning, 10:30.
About 10:30ish, yeah.
Probably on shift, cleaning up after those pesky kids finished breakfast. Like just trying to straighten back up the dining hall in preparation for when they start serving lunch. After that is done, she will probably go stalk her daughter.
Well, for everybody here, all of you in your respective places, stop what you're doing for a split second as you hear a very haunting melody somewhere in the distance. For those of you who are anywhere near a window, you also hear a very loud scream, which ends abruptly, by the way.
Oh, like a murder scream. Great. I mean, I will look out the nearest window. Like, what was that?
I think Professor Cropper turns around to the sea of tape recorders and one student, being Kenneth.
Just looking out the window.
I feel like
we
my
are-
editor's like, hey, did you hear that? There's a scream. There must be a story. Why don't you go check that out? Please get out of my face.
Why don't you go away?
I think I'm in the quad. I'm
I
like
have the
on the way to the coffee shop when I hear the screen. Screen. Yeah, that's the real title of Scream is Screen now.
There you go.
It's all the screens.
Does
So,
Alexis pursue all stories like Lois Lane? Like I will get to the bottom of this no matter what, whether it's the cafeteria like new labeling practice
Yeah,
or
no,
it's
absolutely. She has no problem like I said, breaking into someplace if she like thinks that there's like a document that she can find and expose, or and she's also like the type like if there's a house burning down and there's like a kid that's like obviously grieving, she's not like opposed to just going up and being like, so do you think that your mother who burned alive, do you think her last thought was of you? Like she has no
Wow.
problem, like
Cool,
does not
cool.
have
the
any
my goodness.
We gotta have some filter there.
no
She is
feel like this-
definitely
no filter.
she is definitely
Psychiatrist is gonna come
lawful
in handy.
evil.
Yeah,
There
she
was
has
there
no
was
filter.
definitely an expose at least like, last semester on what the mystery meat in the cafeteria was. That included like chemical analysis from the chem department somehow.
I'm pretty sure faculty hates her at this point. Like,
Yes,
they cannot
definitely,
wait
for
for her
sure.
to graduate.
Well, it is hard to for her to not want to chase down what is obviously a story, because yeah, that was a loud, blood curdling scream. For those of you who are either in the quad going to investigate or just looking out a window, as Kenneth is, I would like for you to roll me perception.
Oh no.
Okay, so yeah, where's perception?
It's one of your stats.
It is one of your stats. We're doing a general perception check. If you want to remember the nifty little tool I built into your character sheet to let you know what the results are. And I will, for those of you who make rolls, I will ask you in order what your result was. I don't need the number. What I need is the actual result type.
So you roll a d100 and then you add your points to it?
You're rolling under. So if for example your perception is a 50, you're rolling a d100 and you're trying to get 50 or below. The closer to 1 you get, not including 0 because there's no 0 on a d100, the better your result.
Nope.
Yeah, also no.
Nada.
Not today.
Did
I-
anyone succeed?
I did.
I did.
Okay.
All
I
right.
got like a medium to high ish.
Yeah, medium result high. Same here.
So you got medium. So I built them out in ranges. If it's between medium result low and medium result high, that means you got a medium result.
Okay, gotcha,
Yes,
gotcha,
yes,
gotcha.
Then I got a medium result.
Yep.
Okay.
Ditto.
Same, for both of you. Excellent. So, Professor Cropper, you're trying to look around this fairly well-built student who's stuck his head out of a university window, which any one of us who've been to an old-style university know that those windows are tiny.
I am taking up all of the space.
Everything looks fine from what you can see. Like nobody in the quad seems to have noticed anything. Like it stopped as the scream happened, and then like everything went back to normal.
Mr. Kane, is anything I'm going to say going to dissuade you from leaving my classroom and checking out that noise?
I mean, there's some things probably. I really can't afford to fail. So,
Let's
but,
go.
all right. We just leave the room full of tape recorders and one Teddy Ruxpin just running, I assume.
I think because he's got tenure, before he leaves, Cropper goes into his desk, fishes out a very beat tape cassette. Great, someone will explain that to you in a second. Goes to the back of the Teddy Ruxpin, pops out the recording that they were doing, and instead puts in and it literally picks up nearly where he left off on his interview, and the Teddy Ruxpin is now teaching his class as he leaves.
I'm not.
So he got one of his lecture recordings from a student in the past.
Yep, basically the same. It's the same lecture. I've been using it verbatim for the past 20 years.
I'm not an infant. I know what a cassette is.
That's great. Using the Teddy Ruxpin to teach your class.
Yeah, the
Somehow
mouthpiece
it's
and
more
everything.
engaging.
I've got tenure. They can't fire me.
And remember, the Nile is one of 2 rivers that flows north in the entire world. In a nice, cutesy, almost ooh voice, which I am not going to attempt.
Woo.
Jesus Christ.
You brought that on yourself, my friend.
I did.
You fool.
For those of you who failed, by the way, you didn't notice anything wrong. The scream almost is just now. Did I hear a scream? What's going on?
It's probably just the theater kids being weird.
Yeah.
Sometimes they just scream.
However,
Copy.
For-
I'm hearing things.
for Kenneth, you've been given a special field trip by your history professor. Maybe it'll get you some extra credit by going with him, even though you have no idea why you're following him anymore.
No, not a clue, but this is better than listening to what was happening in there.
I mean, but if you listen to it via the Teddy Ruxpin.
What's
Well,
Alexis's
considering
last
I'm
name
a
again?
Sorry?
Sorry, what?
What's Alexis's last name again?
Fletcher.
I swear, if Miss Fletcher's harassing another student.
That's what the screen is. Considering I was apparently the only physical student in there, I have to assume everyone else entrusted me to set the recordings for them and pick them up afterwards. So I can clearly get a copy later from the of one of the other ones if I remember that's something I should do.
Clearly.
Also, there is literally a shoebox in his desk drawer with all the lectures on tape. They are all labeled meticulously. He doesn't unlock anything. There's at least 3 students every year who just show up, copy everything in the first week, and then never show up again.
Until final exam day.
Yep. I don't check.
Alright.
I don't know who these people are. I don't check names.
Alexis, you've arrived at the quad. Everything looks normal. Nothing seems out of the ordinary, except for the fact that he of boring history lesson is leaving his lecture hall.
She has her notebook out. She's like, well, I wonder what he's doing out of class. He's too boring to actually do something exciting. And she's gonna look around one more time to make sure that there's nothing going on that she's gonna miss out on, and she's gonna follow the professor.
Excellent. Professor, you apparently are leading 2 students, one of which you have not seen yet, through the campus.
Can I actually hold on? Do I have that? Did I put points in that? Can I make a stealth roll to see if I can keep hidden and just like spy?
Sure.
Amazing. 1 second.
By the way, can we still hear the melody, or is that stopped with the scream?
No, you can still vaguely hear the melody.
Is it omnidirectional, or can we try to pinpoint it?
That you can do. I need you to make a perception check, though, and see if you can.
I got a high
Yeah.
roll.
See if you can get a high roll to match Isabeth's stealth. Oh!
Oh,
Uh,
unfair. Just kidding.
that is you get the tie as well.
It's a tie. Okay.
Ken has no idea.
Ken has no. Ken is too busy following his teacher.
Ken is humming the Indiana Jones theme song as we're walking.
Oh wait, that's Jurassic Park. Never mind.
Equally fun. Better hope that's not the theme song that's playing right now.
So, Heidi, you've got this ringing in your ear. It sounds like a faint song that you haven't heard before, but it just like is not quite stuck in your head, but kind of stuck in your head. It's very distracting.
I'm going to presume that it is some sort of obstinate child playing their CD player too loud. And I am going to go hunt them down and berate them.
Excellent. Well,
These children
Everyone-
and their new tech.
Everyone except for me. I'm
Yeah.
getting coffee.
Ahem. I just googled it. The Discman was 2 years old at this point.
Jesus.
Oh, I had a Discman. I
No,
remember
no.
those days.
Damn it.
Shouldn't have
Discman
picked
was awesome.
1996. I shouldn't have picked 1996. There's so much nostalgia for some of us.
No.
I had a Walkman, and then I upgraded to Discman. Oh,
Those
Anyway.
Discman with their anti-skip features.
yes.
Everybody is in the quad because, well, our poor grad student is tired and walks slowly in the middle of the quad when it's full of people. When the music suddenly stops, nobody else seems to notice, but all of you kind of have this eerie quiet sensation. Like all of the sound is muted from all the students around you. Things have gotten very quiet. And then you hear what sounds like a loud sploosh.
Is there a large body of water nearby, either a lake, fountain, or pool?
There are 2, in fact. There is a lake, which is fed from the mountains, and the university has 2 pools.
But not a fountain. For shame.
Okay, well here's
Not a
one
fountain big
question.
enough to have caused that kind of sploosh.
Does Hunter Blackwood University have actual like lifeguards on duty at the pools?
At this time of year, the pools are supposed to be closed.
Okay.
They're not indoor,
Okay,
unfortunately.
they're all outdoor. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh dear. All right, Mr. Kane, Mr.
Yeah.
Mr. Kane.
What? I'm listening.
I sincerely doubt that. You go to the North Pool. I'm gonna head to the lake.
Okay.
Miss Fletcher, if you could see the East Pool.
She just like stands up and glares. Like, how dare you spot me?
Oh shit. Hi, Alexis.
Do you like to go by Ken or Kenneth? Usually.
Ken.
Ken. Okay. Hey Ken.
Hey.
Hi. So I guess you heard that as well. The water.
Yes. However, time is of the essence. Is if there is someone in danger. So, go, shoo, and then I'll
By the way,
towards the lake.
the East Pool is over by the sports complex. The North Pool is actually over by Greek Row. And then the lake is actually out over near town south.
Okay, so we would not be able to would we be able to hear someone splooshing in the lake unless it's like a meteor or something. Okay, never
Right.
mind.
You wouldn't. Yeah, you would not have been able to hear somebody from the lake. It was
Gotcha.
likely one of the two pools because they're the only ones that are actually on university grounds. Granted, university grounds and Wrightsville, the nearby town, like they literally butt right up against each other.
Yeah, they were separated when they were first created. That stopped long ago, and now there's that weird intermingling, like no man's zone. That's not quite university, not quite town.
Yeah, it's basically a street. That's the port.
Well, I'll go with Ken, and we'll check out that pool, and
All
we'll
right.
go that way. And
In that case, then go to the sports complex. Mr. Kane is more familiar there, and then I'll head towards Greek Row.
as soon as they are like out of earshot. So, what were you and the professor doing out here? What's going on? Like she figured that Ken would be the easier one to get information
Oh,
from.
100%. 100%. There was like this loud scream or something, and then professor's was like, "We should go," and then we went, and then we left the room full of tape recorders, and that's probably fun.
By the way, you're just now realizing that you said there was a loud scream, but you don't actually remember a loud scream.
So I retroactively don't remember a scream.
Well, yeah, that's the thing is your mouth said there was a loud scream, but your brain's like, was there a loud scream? I think there was a loud scream. I don't remember a scream.
Either way, it got me out of a lecture on Queen Hepatitia.
Yeah, those are the worst. Those are the worst lectures. Do I have that same problem when he mentions the scream that I just
Nope,
don't?
you remember the scream.
I do. Okay. Yeah, I heard. I was giving my editor a hard time about something stupid that he did, and I was trying to explain to him why my way was better, and then I heard this like
Yeah.
weird scream, and now I couldn't figure out where it was coming from.
Yeah, and now we're looking at the pool because of splashing noise. Wait, you were there for that part. Never mind.
I like the fact that Kenneth is easier to get information from. The problem is Kenneth retains no information.
You can get anything out of Ken. He just has to know something first.
Bob Ivan, you're hearing some people talk about that splash you heard just a minute ago. As you're blearily walking back from the cafeteria with a half-empty cup of coffee and a full cup of coffee.
Yeah, I'm planning on like double chugging.
Yeah, definitely
Okay.
double fisting that stuff. You didn't sleep
You
last
have
night.
to. Yeah, no, there is no there's sleep. Oh, you're just hearing things. That's what this is. I'm hearing things. They're talking about it.
Yeah, you
Wait, you guys said you heard a splash?
and the scream
And a
is one
scream?
of those. Yeah, like the scream registers in your brain as something you remember, but it's also so foggy that it's like, did I hear a scream?
I thought I heard a scream earlier. Wait. Do I got any classes with these two?
Nope, they're both younger than
Nope.
you are.
Oh,
But you do know one of them. She is fairly infamous on the campus.
Oh, nope.
It's the
I'm gonna go
reporter.
after the teacher.
I am a delight.
Want nothing.
Yeah, Alexis,
Nope.
we're having a great
That's-
time.
that's
She's always willing to talk to me, and we have great chats. I don't understand them, but we have them.
That's a bucket of worms.
Kenneth,
not
you're the
getting
first
paid
person
for
I
it.
know that's had a parasocial relationship with a real person.
That's great.
We gotta go to the north. You guys. Nope. See the teacher taking off. I'm like, yep. I'm gonna follow the teacher.
Like
I
he
have a
was
little
with
time.
them. He was with them investigating the splash. Let's go.
Yeah. I heard the splash. I heard him oversay that he was gonna go north and they were gonna go south, and I'm gonna follow him. It's fine. It's early enough.
Probably safe.
Chug the rest of the coffee one throw. Start chugging the second coffee.
Do you
as I
throw it
briskly
away,
walk
or
to-
do you just like throw it down?
I think I do one of those things where like I think I threw it into the trash can.
Oh, then
And
you
I'm just
hear
so exhausted.
you hear
Oh,
Alexis
I'll make a note of
screaming
this.
after you. Hey, don't litter. Pick that up. Like she's like yelling at you as she's like trying to question Ken.
I would hope
Heidi,
you would not be
and-
making more work for me, young man.
What?
Pick
What?
it up.
What? Pick what up?
Your cup.
I threw it away. It's in my hand.
He's just going to like point behind you to the cup that is very much on the ground next to the
Oh,
trash
shit.
can.
Like he's like completely oblivious. He's gonna pick this up though.
Perhaps you
So
should
sorry,
be more
I-
aware of your surroundings.
Perhaps if I didn't need to finish this fucking paperwork, I wouldn't be fucking here talking right now. But here I am.
Broom. Beat him with the broom.
The only solution.
She gets a
Obviously-
very like pressed look on her face. Like you did not just curse at her. You did not.
I'm sorry. It's just been a very long night. And then there's the scream and the splooshing sound and professor
Don't scream.
professor's getting away. Bye.
What? But young man,
he's leaving.
I'm gone.
He did manage to throw away the cup, though. At least.
No, I
Oh.
threw away the other slightly full cup of coffee.
So
And
he
there's
threw
still
away
a
his
cup on the
caffeine and left the cup on the ground as he flees the scene. Are you
Sorry,
following this student, Heidi?
she
He's
is
very
going to look over to Miss Fletcher, who she
infamous
does
even
indeed
amongst
know.
the faculty.
What was that about a scream?
Oh, I don't know. I was talking to my editor and there was this really loud scream and I couldn't figure out. I left. I was trying to figure out if somebody needed help, but I never figured out where it came from. And then while I was investigating, I ran into Ken and Professor Cropper, and there
Hey.
was this loud, like it sounded like somebody fell into the pool or something. It was oddly loud. So we're headed to the pool over in the athletic building, over by the athletic building, to see if somebody needs help. But then that guy was so rude, and he like threw his coffee cup on the ground, and that's terrible. I mean, anyway, sorry. And she'll actually go and pick it up and throw it away so that you don't have to.
Oh, that's so sweet.
She doesn't want
There
to
will be
get
an
by the mom.
expose on littering. There will be an expose on littering soon.
Oh yeah, no, she totally like she got that, like she got his description, and she's gonna make a mental note that it's gonna be a personal interest piece about littering, students and littering.
At least you can be trusted to do the right thing.
Yeah.
That being said, we are walking. Come.
Okay.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Professor Cropper is full on booking because he thinks someone is drowning, but there's a litter fight happening, and that's more important.
All right, Professor Cropper, you've been like you're an old man. You still spend time jogging, right? That's one
Yeah,
of
I
your
think
big pastimes.
I've got running and swimming. So like in order to keep my tenure, they make sure that I must avail myself of the gym, in order to do proper physical care.
So you're for an old man, you're in somewhat good shape.
Yes.
Excellent. You don't notice the grad student who is trying to keep up with you as you basically power walk your way to to the Greek row pool. By the time you arrive, you'll notice that there's the pool has the cover on, to prevent leaves and such from falling inside of it. It looks like the grounds have recently been tended to, so there's not a lot of leaves. Um, the snack bar has looks like it has recently had a couple of workers come in because the snack bar makes money during lunchtime at Greek Row, because they sell like little personal pan pizzas, sodas, potato chips, stuff like that. And a lot of the frat and sorority students don't want to go very far if they're in the middle of studying to get food.
And is everything look like the cover looks secure still? Like nothing. There's no like. I'm basically gonna do a quick like circuit of it, like tugging on the cover to make sure it's not loose at all. And
Yeah, it looks fine. There's a few scattered leaves on it, so when you tug on it, they move. You can hear the water underneath. In fact, you can even smell, when you tug on it, you can smell the residual chemicals that they use to treat the pool.
all right, and I think one last thing is that he will get down, lift up the corner, and saying, and I guess it will be perception, but basically just listening to see if you're splashing or anything like that.
Go ahead and make that perception. Bob Ivan, you've arrived at the pool. You're a little winded because, well, you're
How
tired.
can he walk so fast?
That's a failure.
Okay, you hear the gentle lapping of the pool because you've been messing with the cover.
Professor Crawford?
You're one of Minerva students. Evans Bobs.
Close. Bob Ivan.
Hi, Mr. Ivan. My
Very
apologies.
close to Bob Evans. There's no relations. What did you also hear the splash? I
Yes,
thought
yes.
I heard a splashing sound as well. Well, thank heaven I don't see any sign here.
No, must have been at the other pool. Come quick, and then I walk over to the snack. Now, is it like generally like a diner style self service one with the sliding doors, or is it like for the snack bar, or is it like somebody actually working there?
There's actually workers there. It is like full service snack bar. They essentially sell a bunch of really easy to make stuff: hot dogs, pizzas, etc.
Is it like a walk-up counter? Like
yeah,
you would
it's
find
a walk-up
at, like
counter
a
and
baseball or
yes,
hockey field?
exactly.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is one of the students who's supposed to be in my class working this at the moment?
They do have some students.
Okay.
Let's have you make a luck roll and see if one of your students is present.
Alrighty. I actually fantastic at luck. It's because I got tenure.
Hooray.
The answer to everything is tenure. So that is a low result.
That is a low result. So it's one of your students, but since you don't take a roll, you're not sure what their name is, but every student is required to show up to your class on the first day.
Mm-hmm.
So you recognize their face, but you don't remember their name.
So yeah, basically I wander up to them, and it's the equivalent of like the meme of the ripping aside the shower curtain. No, stop screaming, are we out of mustard? Like he's like, no, I'm not here to stop. I'm not here to get you in trouble. Just, did you hear the splash?
Splash?
Right after the scream.
No, things have been quiet here. The only thing we've had is a little trouble getting the oven on for the pizzas.
Okay, and the melody?
We haven't turned on the music yet, but that doesn't usually turn on until 15 minutes before open.
Hmm.
Yeah, I thought I heard
Are you
something
okay,
as well.
Yes, you're some distance away from the quad. That must be why. My apologies. Please go about your day. Enjoy your hot dogs and things, and then he will clasp Bob Ivan on the shoulder and goes, Evans, quickly to the to the East Pool, and then go up and in full on power walk, half jog, go dashing away off to the other.
Thankfully, I do some running as well, so I can keep up.
Now that you're actually awake because of all the adrenaline, it's easier to keep up with him. He had a head start on you last time.
Oh yeah. And I also got a full cup of coffee in me, so
Well,
and I just threw one away. Damn it! Threw the
By the
other
time-
cup of coffee away.
By the time the two of you have finished your inspection of the pool and your questioning, the others are arriving at the pool at the sports complex, and they have a guide of somebody who's insanely familiar with the sports complex because he spends a lot of his free time there, I assume. All right, Ken, what are you telling them when you bring them into the pool area?
I mean, I suppose the first thing I should ask before I say anything is is someone actively drowning in the pool? I feel like that would probably take priority.
Well, this particular pool, the cover is not on, which in and of itself is kind of unusual. But there's nobody in the pool.
Okay, thank you. That's what I needed to know. So yeah, well, I guess it's like, yeah. So this is the pool. We do a lot of training here. I actually got a pretty decent time. The swim coach says that I might have a chance if I dedicated to it, but that's not really what I'm here for. Just what are we here for again? Oh right, someone might be in here. Like, where's the covers off? Supposed to be closed. And he's looking around, not really taking any of it in.
Yes, and as far as I am aware, the pool was not set to be cleaned by my colleague today either. Don't mind my accent fluctuating. Can't figure out what I want to do.
Hooray.
Why do you guys leave the pool full of water when it's supposed to be closed?
Would you like to be the one to explain to the college why we're paying for 10,000 gallons of water every year? We
I
just
mean,
keep it
no.
clean.
All right. Okay.
We perform proper maintenance on it, and it stays clean.
No, I'm sorry. I need to know. When Ken pictures them emptying the pool, does he picture them draining it, or does he picture them like lowering gallon jugs and filling up the water and then storing that someplace on campus until next year?
Well, now I'm ashamed to say. So maybe like a big tanker or something, got those.
So just not a bucket, and
Just,
just
like,
like
reverse
scooping it out and
sucks.
throwing it.
There's just like there's just a task line of people passing
Yeah.
buckets.
It'd be great training.
Alexis has put her notebook
the
away
janitor?
and has her her camera out and is ready to like snap pictures if something interesting is going on.
Alexis, I want you, since you're looking around, I want you to make me a perception check.
Sure.
Save the world.
Oof. Hold on. Let me see.
Well, unless you
yeah,
have a
no.
75, that's a failure. Now,
I
don't forget, depending on how close you are, you do have a pool of luck points. Those, unfortunately, those luck points are will have to last you the entire case.
You know what,
So
though?
keep that in mind.
I'm 4 away from a pass because I got a 74 and I have 70. So I'm gonna spend the 4
Okay.
for a pass.
I figured I should bring that up. I've let you guys fail enough rolls, and I
Right.
realized I should probably remind people they can do this.
I think the only roll I failed by way too high a margin to do that. I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that. Not enough for
Yes.
this.
I don't have enough luck for any of my rolls so far to bridge the gap if I spent all of it.
Wow.
You've only asked for perception, and it's not my best skill.
Yeah, actually, I want I want Heidi and Ken to make me perception checks also.
Or
So you have a low result now, yes, with a 70?
Yes, I have a passing now. I mean, it's barely, but it's still passing.
I mean, a low result is still a low result.
I
result.
still failed.
Low result, yeah. I got an 11.
You got an 11? Are you sure that's a low result? Remember,
How
the
many?
closer did you plug your perception into the little chart thingy?
Well, I presume we're going to ignore my stuttering. Okay. Is it low if it's close to the stat number or close to 1?
It's low if it's close to the stat number. The closer to 1 it is, the better.
Okay, then I got a high result.
Excellent. So, you're going to notice different things because you're looking at it from different perspectives. Since Alexis is using her camera as she's looking around, one of the things that she's going to notice is that the cover was not removed the way it normally is, because it's just kind of like, instead of because they normally roll them up and then set them off to the side. This one has just been kind of haphazardly thrown off to the side. Heidi, you're going to notice that there's some strange divots around the floor of the flooring of the deck around the pool.
Like divots as in dents or like marks?
Marks,
Okay.
long lines.
Ooh. Someone has ruined the finish of this deck. How could they?
Yep, some of the tiles are like broken now.
Alexis is gonna take pictures of the pool cover and how it was just kind of like sitting there. And she's gonna mention that just kind of out loud, thinking out loud that that's really weird that it was taken off that way. And then she's gonna come over and take pictures of the divots that Heidi found.
Could not have been for cleaning. Look at this mess.
Yeah, the pool cover you cannot unfortunately roll up by yourself. It would require, the easiest way to do it would just put it back and then re-roll it, but it does need to be put back for safety reasons.
Is there anything in the water?
Not that you can see. Hey Ken,
Yeah.
you've been in this pool a lot.
Yeah.
The water's a weird color.
Are you gonna have to give me a little bit more than weird?
Well, normally the pool water is, if anybody remembers, the chlorine they used back in the 90s kind of made pool water bluish. This is sort of like a orangish blue, almost like it's turning brown.
Welcome to our ool. Notice there is no pee in it.
No, it's the blood that's the problem. Yeah. I thought you said they were keeping it like clean and stuff though.
The coloration is very faint. The only reason you've even noticed is because you've been here a lot.
Yeah,
It's good for cross training.
Yeah, like I said, it's like, hey, I thought you said they like kept this water clean and all that.
We
Over
do.
there. Well, it's.
Are you questioning?
I mean, it shouldn't be that color. I don't think.
What color? It's blue.
Nah, that's orange.
That's
I mean, like only a little.
Any sort of examination of the pool water does kind of let you know it looks odd. Like normally it's like this very like light bluish tone, but
Hey,
there's just a
I'm gonna-
strange just darkness to it.
I'm gonna touch it.
I was gonna say I'm gonna get down and smell it.
Smells like chlorine.
Okay, that's what I was curious about.
The water feels like water.
Okay.
Dun, dun, dun.
So apparently, whatever this contaminant is, there's not enough of it to have changed the consistency of the liquid.
If I try to take a picture of it, can I get like a good picture of the color, like the color, or does it not really come through because it's so faint?
You will have to develop the film,
To know, okay.
but I want you to go ahead and make me a photography check.
Okay.
But top.
If I fail this, I might weep. My photography is a 90. If I fail it, I'm gonna
jeez.
cry.
Okay.
So I got a 36, so that is why didn't that work? Okay. So I got a high roll.
You get a high result? Excellent.
Yeah, I got a high.
I will let you know once you develop the film. You will get the odd coloration of the pool water.
Okay.
Once we actually go through that, you'll be able to examine the picture for more information.
Exciting.
While the three of you are kind of wandering around the pool, one of the coaches hears you and he pops his head and he's like, "Hey, nobody's supposed to be. Kane, what are you doing in here? Aren't you supposed to be in class?"
The teacher told me to come here.
Right. Aren't you in Professor Cropper's class? He wouldn't send you to the pool.
He definitely did, though. I swear.
Yeah, no, I was there. The professor sent us over here. Professor Cropper sent us over here.
Yeah.
Right.
Besides,
Yeah,
like something weird.
Your
with
reputation is
pool.
any better, Alexis.
Right. Yeah. His like the disbelief in his voice. And
You can ask him. I promise.
the coach sees Heidi. He's like, "Oh, hi. How you doing?
Hello.
Are these students with you?
At the moment, yes.
Did he get permission from his professor to be here? You are not part of that conversation, so you don't know.
Not that I am aware of. But
However-
they are with me at the moment.
You do. I believe you're one of the few people who actually likes Alexis,
Mhm.
at least amongst the faculty and staff. Because there are a few members of the faculty and staff who do like her because, you know, she forces stuff that they want to change that can't change. Or that people are reluctant to change. So it is up to you whether or not you want to corroborate Alexis' story, whether information unknown.
Hmm.
Unknown.
I'm not aware of Kenneth getting or what's your character's last name?
Kane.
I'm not aware of Mr. Kane getting any permission, but I was aware that Alexis did.
What? No, I definitely got permission. I swear. He said you can ask the professor. He went to the other pool.
Ken, I want you to make me a personality check.
All right. Do I have a personality? I'm pretty sure I do.
It's one of your stats, remember?
It's true. Is this a savoir-faire?
You can roll savoir-faire if you've got a better roll for that. I'll allow it.
Not with the 91, I don't.
Ken's so busy, like, confused, like, wait a minute, why is
But I
everybody
got
picking on me
permission.
all of a sudden?
Why am I in trouble? I'm doing what I was told.
It's about
Wait.
that time that Professor Cropper comes charging into the pool.
Yes, I'm being berated by a coach.
Pretty much. You know, for
Professor,
skipping
tell him,
class.
tell him that you sent me here.
What? Mr. Kane, why are you so distressed? Did you
Betrayal.
find someone?
Is he skipping your class, Professor? Is that why you came here to come find him? You know he's not supposed to skip your class.
No,
He's not
no,
supposed to skip any of his classes.
no. We were investigating the scream.
What scream?
Robert, I told you about the scream. Well, I didn't know I'd tell you about the scream, but you didn't hear the scream? There was a
I-
scream and a splash. There was nothing at the other pool.
No, the only thing I know is that I came in here with these three, you know, Heidi and these two students, and the pool's uncovered, and that's
like
a safety
that when we
hazard.
got here.
Do you maybe want to explain to us why, if, you know, you're here, why the pool cover is off this way. It is a hazard, and somebody could have gotten hurt. And,
It was-
and you can see that there's a weird discoloration in the water. Maybe somebody was bleeding. You know, you might be held liable for this.
I can concur.
She grabs her notebook
No.
and starts taking notes.
To my knowledge, there was no cleaning scheduled for today.
No, that's tomorrow.
I was not aware that procedures began early.
Cropper is not listening to any of this anymore and has pulled Kenneth aside and is like, "All right, go get some kind of container. Yes, the water is discolored. Go get a sample. We will have to, to research this." And you saw no one in the pool?
No, not today.
Yes, Kenneth. I would have been talking about anyway. You adorable idiot. All right, no, go get a get some kind of container for something to hold the water. And like you get 5 steps, and he stops you and goes, "Mr. Kane, a sterile chemistry container to put some water in.
Right.
Not just a jug, not a cup, an actual like piece of glassware from the chemistry department."
Which is where again?
I know where that is. I'll take you.
Thank you, Evans. Show him.
God,
And then I'm gonna start looking around the pool for
Bye, Alexis.
splashes.
I gotta go get a glass.
Was there anything that like any like big like water like spread out from the pool in any way?
In fact, there is water outside of the pool, and it's mostly drained back into the pool, but you can see a section of it is still sort of damp, and it looks like it is heading eastward into in farther east. Which, by the way, you're near the edge of university grounds where you are now.
Oh, bother! All right,
It doesn't.
then.
This doesn't go into town. This goes from here. It would go into the mountains.
Okay, but it does look like, I mean, the forensic specialist that is my art history professor, but it does look like the water is moving from the pool towards, not the other way around.
No, it does look like it does look like there is a path of water. You cannot tell if it is going to or from. You just know that there is a damp strip.
Okay.
Can I roll forensics so I can try to show up the professor?
Oh, sure, go for it.
Yeah. Forensic.
Wait though, hold on. I actually have a fairly good. Oh, not that good. Maybe not that good. Hold on, let me see.
According to my research.
Why are you not doing this?
Question. You mentioned previously when they were doing their perception checks that there were also like divots in the ground and like that kind of stuff. Is it the same path as the water or separate?
No. It's in a separate area. In fact, the divots are all kind of fairly contained. Some of them are straight lines, some of them are little indentions.
Miss Fletcher, have you made yourself useful in taking a picture of these indents?
I'm sorry, art history professor. I didn't realize that I needed you to tell me how to do my journalism job, but yes, I did. She's very snarky. I'm sorry.
That's absolutely fine. I've not once called Reason's character by the correct name, and I do not plan to for 3 weeks.
All
I
right.
might have set that up.
The coach is actually talking to our illustrious janitor, trying to get the pool covered back up. Not to hide anything, he's just concerned about the safety of an uncovered pool with no lifeguard on duty.
Yeah, he thinks he's leading that conversation. She's just about dragged him by the ear to help her with the pool cover at this point.
Right. For those of you who are paying any attention, he is very, very poorly trying to flirt with her.
Oh.
It's not working. She has a husband.
Yeah.
Unnamed.
Oh, unnamed husband.
Sam-
Poor
Samuel.
unnamed husband.
There. I've named him. His Samuel.
His name is Samuel?
Samuel.
Okay, here's the important question then.
Gotta add the inflection.
Has anyone at the
Sound.
college actually met your husband? Like, has he come to any of like the holiday things or anything like that? Or is it literally just, we know she's married.
You know
She
that she
mentions the husband.
She
We've
wears
seen
a
the
ring
daughter.
sometimes, but it's not very practical for her to wear her ring on the job all the time.
He must be alive, right? She uses the present tense when she talks about him.
Reportedly, he works in town.
Reportedly, yes.
All right.
It's
Like an accountant.
it's a case file on the spoof desk forever.
Who is
You,
Heidi's husband? Does he exist?
You managed to cover
Was
the
he
pool
ever
back
real?
up. Again, he's not trying to. He's very obviously not trying to hide anything. He's just concerned about having an uncovered pool when there's nobody around.
I will ask them to wait right at the end, saying that, since there is a discoloration in the water, I do believe we should grab a sample.
Oh, yeah,
so
he
that
can
we
leave one of the corners uncovered. That way, all you have to do is put the corner back on. He's like, I will leave them in your hands, Professor. I'm gonna go. Because it seems like, I feel like Heidi like fishes into her pocket, pulls out her ring and puts it on, and then he remembers she's married, and he's like, oh shit.
I think
move to mid conversation, put the ring back on.
I think as like he walks off, Cuthbert looks in and goes, he is also married.
He is, and he would do well to remember that.
But yes, when Evans and the Cane Boy come back from
It doesn't take very long, at least not for, well, it doesn't take them very long to go and come back, because Ken is coaching Bob Ivan on the best way to breathe while they run. He's like, yeah, in, out, in, out.
Breathe in with your nose, out
could
with
take
your
it.
mouth.
It's really with the nose. It really helps. Gets that oxygen into your blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the time you get back, Bob Ivan, you are exhausted. This is more running than you've done in months, because you've run across the campus twice, essentially.
I've
Well,
put in
like
10,000
4 times.
steps.
The warm up.
You're like, more like 4 times. You're spent.
Yeah.
Now, here's the important question. In any of your conversations, has anyone mentioned the scream, the melody, or the splash?
You're speaking to.
All of it. The assorted group. 'Cause I think
every
What
person that
scream?
I've talked to, I've mentioned the scream at least, and the splash. Elizabeth forgot about the melody, so I'm just gonna like hand wave. She brought, like, whenever she was talking to people, like, what are you doing here? She would bring that up.
Because the
No. The first that I had heard of it was when Miss, what's your character's last name? Good lord,
Fletcher.
Fletcher. Okay. Was when Miss Fletcher spoke of it. Melody, yes. That is what brought me from my current duties.
By the way, the more the scream gets mentioned, for those of you who didn't remember it, the more you're starting to go, I remember hearing a scream.
Although there was some sound that came from the windows.
And then there was music. And I thought it was just one of those songs where they've added like a scream in. But now that you're saying it, it's like, yeah, there was melody, scream, melody, splash.
Aha! And literally,
I brought a jar.
You grab some water. Good. I'm very proud of you.
Yes, I
Mr.
brought
K.
a beaker.
Yes, it's called a beaker. It's got Pyrex on the side of it. It's actually an early and mild flask, but we're not going to use those words because those are too big words for you, Mr. Kane. But yeah, as everyone's talking like that and we're collecting the water, in full-on Clue the movie fashion, Cuthbert just goes, aha, and turns and runs away. and
But
does not explain
Professor-
what he's doing. He just starts booking it back to his classroom.
He
Please tell me
runs a
we-
lot better than I would have thought he could.
Right? Please,
I
do
can
we
keep up, but
do we have to chase after him? Like, is it that important? Is he coming back? I'm not
I
running.
don't
I'm not
know.
running. I'm gonna walk. I'm not running. Fuck that.
I'm gonna take the sample to the chemistry department and see if they can do an analysis for us. I assume it's just chlorine water. It looks kind of darker.
I'm gonna go develop my film and see if there's anything weird on them. Come find me, Ken, if the professor needs me for anything.
What
Okay.
if we just meet back at the cafe near the quad? It's easy, it's central, everyone knows where it is. Minus the professor. I doubt he's. Yeah, no, I've seen him there.
She's
Ran
gonna
into him there.
she's gonna look at him and then just look back at Ken and just say, "Come find me if you need me," and then she's gonna walk away.
All right, bye, Alexis.
What a
And
brat.
I guess
Alright.
Ken will go run after the professor.
All right, and I'm assuming Bob Ivan is heading to the chemistry lab, as he mentioned.
Yep.
Heidi, you're here by yourself. Everybody's left. They're talking about different things. You finished covering up the pool since nobody else seems to have done so. You're the first out of the group to realize that the melody has stopped. Like, not even really abruptly. It was almost like whatever was making the song finally came, it came to its natural conclusion.
Mm. It's probably clear to her at this point that it wasn't like it wasn't some sort of like music player. She would have found that on the way.
Right, you've kind of vaguely registered it in the back of your mind the entire time.
Mm.
But you're also realizing that as it is now that it's come to an end, you're feeling like something that was weighing on you has sort of lessened. Because you're the one person who's not running off chasing certain goals. To have realized that something was weighing on you while that melody was playing.
She's almost going to think back to a time on the trails, almost, but then stop, kind of shake her head. And then she's gonna go head back to the cafe to finish her job. Obviously the rest of them will be joining her there shortly. She does have a job to do.
Professor, what's your clue moment what's your aha moment?
So we all heard an auditory phenomenon that that no one seems to be recognizing, and I just left a room full of auditory equipment recording. So I go bursting into the classroom, go looking around, and basically, because I don't know names, I don't know faces, but I know like where students are supposed to be sitting and who's doing well enough in the class to miss half a lecture, and I'm going to snatch their recording device off of the desk, rewind it, and then get to the part in my lecture where we heard the melody, the scream, and the splash, and see if it's recorded on the tape.
All right, you rewind the tape and you start playing, and you hear your book drop, which you know is the closest major event you can remember before
Mhm.
the melody started, and there's nothing on the tape. It's just you having, talking to Mr. Kane, your lecture continuing, the two of you talking about the like you mentioning the scream, but you didn't hear the scream. And then you can hear like you changing around, and then the Teddy Ruxpin taking over. And as you keep listening, you know how long your lecture takes. About the point where you should have heard the splash, there's no splash. And still, even if you check another tape, there's no evidence of anything. but you can't shake the feeling that something's missing on these tapes.
Curious. And again, in a similar echo to what Heidi did, his brain starts to go back and refuses, but instinctively, Cropper backs away from the windows in the classroom and puts his back against a wall. And I think that's where Kane will find him when Kenneth comes in. Is just lost in thought, but like backed up against a wall.
Or like 2 minutes later when Ken like slams the door open.
Yeah. Ken got distracted by one of his track buddies asking him the next time they're going to have leg day.
Ken did a lap. Ken forgot and did a lap.
I mean, well, you get running, and it's just so fun to run, man. You just get going.
I think I will. I apologize in advance, Kenneth. I think I will pop out one of the tapes, put a blank one in, and basically set it on the desk as if Kenneth did not push play on the on the recording.
All right. What we're gonna do here before we go further into the investigation, I have somebody asking to see if we can take a break. I think now is a good time, so we're gonna take 10 minutes ish. I'm on the it's 34 after according to my clock. We'll say we'll try to resume at 45 after.
We are back. Sorry about that. We had some gremlins that we needed to work out with the tech stuff. I did not get a chance when we left. My cat was under my desk being sick, and I had to take care of him when we went to break. So I forgot to tell you about our raffle. We're raffling off a mystery box. It's a mystery box because I don't actually know what's in it. I know it's gonna have some baked good from our Panajon. And he is an excellent baker, and you definitely want that. And there's going to be some other fun stuff. I do know we have a very good friend over at Norse Foundry who makes really, really fun, amazing dice. And I do know that there's going to be some gift cards from Norse Foundry in the gift box, potentially. Ooh. I'm not sure if I was supposed to say that, but fuck it, I did. There's going to be dice gift cards, and Norse Foundry makes amazing dice. And probably whatever other fun stuff John can find to throw in the box. So you definitely want to win. Hashtag Spooky Snacks in the chat twice per game all month, and then I will pick a winner during my Aliens game, at the end of my Aliens game on Halloween.
I mean, presumably at random, not just, this is my favorite.
Nah, after she brutally murders us and sits on a pile of our corpses, Isabits will deign who wins.
Whoever had the coolest death, clearly.
Obviously.
It's the mother of all the aliens. My favorite person will win
on our corpses.
The gift box. I'm just kidding. It's gonna be random, I swear. I say that, and then if that person wins, I'm gonna feel really bad for everybody, but it's fine. So yeah, anyway, I got the two that just popped up. I will add you guys to the list. I'm done now. You may take back over. I'm sorry.
Okay. It's okay. All right. Now that we're back from break, the professor had a moment of realization, has hit a moment of, oh God, what's going on? Is throwing Ken under the bus. Some people have gone back to work. None of you can shake the feeling of what you've heard as you go back to your various tasks, dropping off the water sample to have it tested for whatever is in it. Actually, let's start with that. Bob, Ivan, how are you convincing someone in the chemistry lab to run a test on this random sample of water?
Well, hold on. Oh, my brain. Life sciences, chemistry.
Are you doing it yourself?
I'm doing it myself. Because I'm just going to come in and be like, returning the the container. Just need to run a sound. Just need to use the lab real quick. I promise to be out of your hair. 10 minutes tops. It's probably not even gonna have an analysis that we want, but whatever.
All right, I want you to go ahead and roll me a chemistry check. You have the appropriate skill because if you'd had any other physical or life science, I would have allowed the check, but at a negative.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
So
channel my
this-
inner Alexis and say I kind of hope that you fail really, really badly and blow up the chem lab because it would be fucking hilarious.
No, please.
Oh,
Why would
come
you
on.
say
God, Heidi
this?
would be so mad. Heidi would be mad because she'd have to clean it.
So I have a 70 in chemistry. That's an
Alright.
86.
That's only 16 points of luck, though.
That's a failure unless you want to spend 16 points of luck.
Let me take a look at luck.
Oh, yeah, the amount of luck you have to spend is over on the right side of your character sheet.
On the right side of my character sheet. Taking a look at this character sheet. It doesn't have. Oh, there it is. No. No, I'll just eat that failure. No, the water has nothing. And
Yeah, no, it's
chlorine. It's not iodine, maybe?
just water
Oh.
and the chlorine chemical the particular chlorine chemical that they use for the water. And in fact, one of the things that you're noticing is as you're performing the test, the water comes out the exact color you would expect, even though it's a little darker. That might just mean that they used more chlorine than they needed to.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't think it would have anything in it. You know what? I'm not a scientist if I don't ask someone else to test it for me. So I'll grab one of the chemistry grads in here and be like, "Hey, can you double check this for me? I seem to be came up nothing, but I want to double check. You know how it is. Run the test again for me. Let me know."
All right, you're gonna
this is
ask a
for-
second opinion.
Yeah,
Go
I'm getting
ahead
a second
and-
opinion.
Go ahead and make me a personality check.
Oh,
I'm just getting a flashback to
Okay.
college when you would accidentally overload the spectrum chromatograph, and instead of getting like the peaks and valleys, it's just a straight line across. And you're like, I did something wrong.
Oh, okay. I mean,
Yeah,
I
right?
do have a 60 personality, so maybe it'll be fine. Here we go.
Maybe it'll be fine.
This water sample doesn't even have water in it.
You got a 67. That's a much easier gap to bridge than the last one, I assume.
Yeah, I guess I'll eat it. I'll eat the 7 luck and make it an even 60.
Yeah, so
Um,
the guy who you've managed to wrangle to do it, he's like, yeah, I'll take care of it later. Just go put the sample over there, make sure you cover it up, and
Yeah.
leave a note for what I'm supposed to do. And I'll
Um,
get back to you when I'm done. It probably won't be later because I'm in the middle of an experiment.
That's perfect. Here's my dorm. My dorm number. Leave the results either there or at the email. At this email, and I'll put it on the tube. At this point,
I mean, even in the 90s, college emails were a thing. They used intranet for that kind of thing.
yeah. Just email me the results. You find anything particularly good, I'll let you have the write up on it.
Right. A write up is good. That'll give me extra credit. But
Exactly.
I'm going to need some kind of compensation for my time before you get those results. Cash or food will work because I'm busy and I don't always have time to go get.
I can run and grab you some food. What do you need? What do you eat?
He's like, I gotta have something that doesn't drop a lot of crumbs. So,
Coffee.
no, I need actual food.
Oh,
So
yeah, no.
grab
Sorry,
me-
that's been my life for a while. Coffee.
he's like, just grab me a couple of sausages off the roller without buns, and
Wanting condiments.
no, that's and
Just
like
sausages.
one of those
huh?
cup noodles.
Oh yeah. Do you want me to fill it and heat it, or do you want to do that here?
I can do it here. We have got plenty of heating
Yeah, I
sources
know
and
you can do
water.
it here. That's why I asked.
Just I gotta finish. Go away.
Yeah,
The
I
name of the
am.
student was Doug Keto.
So I leave the information so he can contact me. I leave it on the tube. I tell it's on the tube what it needs to be done. And then I go like run and get him his sausages without condiments, a cup
bread.
noodle, and a coffee for myself because I threw the other one away by accident.
All right. So you're able to do that. Alexis, I need you to make me another photography check to develop that film.
Yes, sir.
You can do it.
We will see.
Yeah.
Again, if
Luckily
I fail
for
this,
you-
I'm going to be very upset.
Luckily for you, you have free access to the developing room because nobody wants to develop your pictures for you because you learn about it.
That is still a low result.
A low result is better than nothing. That means you didn't screw it up. And you had a high result in actually taking the pictures. So when you take a look at the photo after developing it, there's something blurry under the water that you didn't notice while you were there. Like a couple of some things that are kind of blurry.
She's going to, I want to say pull out a magnifying glass, but that's probably not the right time frame for that. She's going to look at it underneath something to blow it up so that she can see what it is.
Well, if we're going classic noir, it's after you've taken a shot of bourbon and you put the glass down just right to. Sorry.
Okay, hold on.
No,
She has a flask.
Not a flask.
There-
It's gotta
there's
be-
a-
She'll pour it into a glass.
Okay.
She's
There
classy.
is a magnifier. There is a magnifier in the journalism office, but not in the actual development room. You have a couple of good pictures. Everything you developed, every picture you took came out pretty good. None of them are really blurry. You didn't have any sort of issues with you didn't have any sort of issues with the chemicals or anything of that nature. Probably took a little longer than you were expecting because you were in such a rush. But you have all of the pictures you took, plus the ones from the investigation you were on previously. What were you working on before this started?
Oh dear. Let's see. I think I was working on a story about a professor that leaves his room unlocked and all of his stuff unlocked, and kids are sneaking in and getting the answers to all of the tests. And I was doing an investigative piece to see if the professor was in on it. Perhaps maybe he was selling the answers to these sheets to these students or working with them in some way. Which is why Professor Cropper does not like me.
I mean,
Professor Cropper
one of the
doesn't-
reasons.
This is the only reason that Alexis has ever given Professor Cropper to not like her. Everything else, she's been a stellar angel.
She is.
Yeah.
She's such a sweet, innocent girl. Usually.
Mhm.
She's
So what are we talking
I saw
about?
that look.
So, you've got some pictures of students that are obviously sneaking into his office, when he's not around, and you have the picture of the drawer full of tapes.
That's why he was able to spot her, because she's been following him so much. He just knows she's there.
Just assumes that she's there at some point.
As you see, I think the camera will cut back to Cropper walking towards. Assuming Kenneth told him about the cafe, walking towards the cafe and going, and Miss Fletcher. Ah, well, and then keeps on walking. Just he randomly calls out for her just to try to catch her.
Some of the students look at him like he's crazy, but they don't say anything because she's popped out of nowhere before, and they're all like, "Where did she come from?"
It's just she's a ninja. She'll just pop out and surprise people. It's fine.
Who's actually going to meet up around lunchtime for the continuation of the investigation?
I mean, Ken's obviously going
Well,
to.
Heidi is here.
I mean, I've got.
Yeah.
Cropper's on his
Yes.
way. We know this.
Yeah.
I'm still hoping to get extra credit out of this.
Bob's returned for a second cup, or third cup. Sorry, fourth cup? No, fourth cup of coffee.
Third and a half.
An
Yes.
actual food this time because he hasn't eaten anything.
Well, it's not hard to see that your group is kind of odd because teacher, staff, and then like a fairly decent array of students. As some of you are sitting down with food, some of you are sitting down with nothing. I'm assuming Ken has a big lunch.
Oh yeah, you gotta. It requires a lot of fuel to keep this body going.
Cropper's been getting the same burger and soda for like the past 10 years because it was an okay burger and he liked it, so he keeps ordering the same exact thing every time.
Not a big fan of change, is he?
Bob has a tuna melt. They make a really good tuna melt. He has tuna melt and fries.
Vital
Delicious.
information we're expressing.
This is the
Look,
most
you
important part.
need the omega-3s in order for your brain to process things correctly. Come on.
Really quick for no reason at all whatsoever. How many cups of coffee has Bob had thus far?
He said 4.
He's on his fourth.
Okay,
Fourth.
cool, thanks.
He's on his fourth. He knows he's in the danger zone, and then he needs to go to bed. But also, there's interesting things happening, and he's eating food, so it should help balance it more like 2.5 at this point with the food.
I feel like
Right?
Professor Cropper's burger is like a double bacon cheeseburger with Swiss.
Oh yeah, he should have died many years ago. No one's sure how he's still around. He's not sure how he's still around. It doesn't matter. He runs and he swims because they tell him to, but he will not be denied his daily Swiss burger.
His daily double Swiss bacon burger.
Probably got, it's probably a mushroom Swiss burger too, so it's got the sauteed mushrooms on top. See, it's healthy, it has mushrooms.
There is some variety. On Wednesdays, he has BLTs, hold the lettuce, hold the tomato.
So nothing but a bacon sandwich.
Yes.
Maybe with a little mayo.
Maybe, not too much though.
Okay. So far, the only person who has anything to contribute is Alexis and Cropper. Ken probably heard the recording, but hasn't figured out the significance of it. I don't know. Has Ken figured out the significance, or is he just kind of here because extra credit?
Extra credit, and I was told to be here, so I'm here.
Excellent. That was me giving a cue for either Alexis or Professor Cropper to start talking about the findings.
Well, here's the question: Is Alexis actually coming to the cafe, or is Alexis waiting for Kenneth?
No,
So, yeah.
she's not there. She is still at the journalism office. She has taken the negatives to the actual, from like the photography area to the actual journalism office, so that she can look at the negatives under.
So
and
I
the
will
photos
say this,
under
and then
class.
we'll fast forward. I think knowing Kenneth for all of the hour and a half, 2 hours that we've known him, you inhale that food faster than most people are taking their first couple of bites. Am I right?
Well, yeah, I gotta get it inside my body, and there's a lot of it.
I think there's a moment of like where everyone is kind of like eating and waiting to see if Alexis is going to show up, and she's not, and Kenneth is just sitting there playing with like his empty tray over and over again, and like for like the third or fourth time it happens, Cuthbert just reaches out, thumps the tray down like holding it flat, so you can stop fidgeting with it, and says, "Mr. Kane, could you please go and ask Miss Fletcher to join us and see if she's got anything from her pictures?"
Sure. I can do that. He'll start making his way to where he believes she is, which is not necessarily where she is.
But yeah, so just so that we can actually get plot happening. I believe. Can we fast forward all of us back at the cafe, or
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and pull a Batman where
Do-
Ken eventually tracks down Alexis by asking people. Alexis is one of the few people that apparently sticks in his brain.
Of course, I remember stuff, just not Queen Tipitich.
listen to me, listen to me, Kenneth, Hap,
Yeah. Hap.
Shet,
Shet.
Shut,
Schwitz.
Hap Shetsut.
Happy Shaberger.
Close enough.
Closer.
All right, the group
Closer,
has
it's getting there.
reconvened because I assume Alexis is not gonna say no.
Yeah, presumably I took long enough that you got out of the dark room and I didn't kick that in.
Yeah.
She was looking at at one of the magnifiers in the journalism office. Which, by the way, I want you to go ahead and make me a perception check this time instead of a photography check.
Sure.
What can you see?
Nothing. I see nothing.
See nothing?
Why are you being mean to me? There we go. Do I have too many windows open?
Oh shit!
I'm
She
gonna
sees
go
everything.
out on a limb and say that is a critical.
It is, in fact,
is-
I'm pretty sure you have a higher than a 50 in
I have,
perception.
my 70 is 70.
Which, by the
For
way,
those-
10% of your skill roll is a critical, 10% or less.
For those playing along at home, Isbeth has rolled a 5.
They can see. I have a dice roller.
They can see.
on
Oh,
Yep.
never mind.
Has a dice roller up for this.
Yeah, so now that you're looking at the film, one of the things that you're realizing is there's a shoe at the bottom of the pool that you didn't notice before.
Jinkies.
There's something else too, but it's hard to make out. But there's definitely a shoe.
That's so weird. So there was somebody in the pool. I feel like as she's like realizing this, that's like when Ken pops up. Hey,
Heyo.
hey. Do you know whose shoe this is? You're an athlete. Do you reckon?
Yes, all athletes know shoes. I'll look at the shoe.
I'm gonna give you the quick answer without a dice roll. No.
No, that's a shoe though.
Yeah,
You're not supposed to have shoes in the pool.
This was the pictures that I took in the pool. Do you remember seeing a shoe in the pool?
No. I just remember it being kind of orangey.
Yeah,
Ken,
this is.
Ken
I took this
can
picture.
he can identify the brand. It's a Reebok.
Oh my
Not that
God.
that matters actually, but
That's-
he's like, yeah, no. Some of the guys wear those as cross trainers. They're not comfortable for him.
That's completely unhelpful. Thank you. No, I took this picture of the discolored water, and there's a shoe in it, even though we didn't see a shoe. So there's a mystery afoot, and we need to figure this out.
Yeah, we gotta find whose foot goes in that shoe.
We do. We need to find the shoe. Where was it?
The pool! Let's go to the pool!
How did I take a picture of a shoe in the water that we did not see? That's not possible.
Go shoe.
Maybe there's something weird with maybe like two of the images kind of like developed weird. I don't know. We have to figure this out.
Ghost
Did you
shoe.
need something? Why are you here?
Oh, right, yeah. The others are at the quad and are wondering if you're coming to, like, share info or something.
Oh, I guess. Sure, I guess. Let's go.
Maybe they know about the shoe.
Maybe. That professor seems weird. Maybe he knows something more than he's saying.
I mean, probably, but he says a lot, so I'm not sure if that's possible. Like, he'll...
Fast forward to the group being rejoined. On that note, Heidi, I do have to mention that you've seen your daughter buy lunch. She got a salad and like it looked like a smoothie, and she sat down with some of her friends. They ate, they left, and she was heading in the direction of her next class.
Yep, Heidi's like just a little bit seething. Like she left two very like prim lunch boxes in the fridge this morning before she left for work. Obviously, it was not appreciated.
Nope. Well, one of the lunch boxes was gone. You can assume the husband
Yeah.
took it.
The
Since your
nebulous
daughter-
husband who may or may not exist. Schrodinger's
Right.
husband.
Schrodinger's husband. But the nice prim lunchbox that was for your daughter was definitely still in the fridge.
Yep.
At least she's eating healthy, though.
Yeah,
was
she
about
made
to say-
good choices. Good for her.
I'm gonna say, cue her walking away, knowing that her mom is working in the cafe quad area, after eating like the salad and the smoothie, to immediately go to the snack bar and get like the greasiest like hot dog, sausage, and like all that kind of stuff. That all the unhealthy
it's not
food.
it's not even that complicated. One of her friends slips her a burger after they've left.
Fully loaded hot dog.
Yeah, like Heidi, like at one point, like walked by in like the background, gave like a little wave, and that was like needlessly threatening. You're making good choices. Good job. And then went back to what she was doing.
All right, so the group is together.
I will put the tape down in the center. It's not on here. I checked a couple different tapes.
What do you
There's
mean?
no sound of the melody. There's no screaming. There's no splash.
Are you talking about a mass hallucination? Because
Well, there's
I mean,
there's five
I mean,
of
this
us.
is isolated between several of us because no one else seems to know what we're talking about.
Did any of us
Man,
eat
that-
the same food? Go to the same places?
This new
Oh.
tech of yours, this new tech everyone is touting, it's so unreliable. How can you know?
No, this is the new tech, and he holds up a Discman.
What is
Madam,
that?
this is a tape cassette.
It's been around for like the last 40 years. You know this.
She grew up
It
in
was the
East
hot
Berlin.
new
Don't-
thing when Atrex disappeared.
The Discman is new,
Do
but the
not-
cassette
do
is
not-
familiar. Heidi's familiar with the cassettes.
So what?
She
Your
listened
daughter
to
listens to
Hoffenheim
rock and
back
roll on.
when they released their album on 3 cassettes.
I have an even stranger question for you.
Yeah.
Did anybody see a shoe in the water when we were looking? Anybody? Anybody see a shoe?
I wasn't there long
I
enough
don't
to
think
actually look at the water.
Okay.
Not that I recall.
So
So I took pictures of the area, including the water because it was slightly discolored, according to Ken. So please explain to me how I took a picture of a shoe in the water when none of us saw a shoe, and she's gonna put the picture.
well, obviously it's a reflection of one of our shoes. It happens all the time. You should know this. You're in photography and
Okay.
But
Evans-
Evans,
I don't
Evans, there's
need-
no
I don't need
person
some like
around it.
15-year graduate student telling me how to take pictures and develop pictures. Okay.
right when you understand the chemical compounds of your
Anyway,
photography.
are any of us wearing this particular shoe? Because she's not.
They don't fit right on me.
So obviously, if none of us are wearing this shoe, then it can't be a reflection. Anyway.
How about
Objection.
What
No.
about the teacher down there at the pool? The one that came out?
No, he always
He
wears
wasn't
those,
there. He was not out when I took these pictures. It was just Ken. What is your last name? I'm sorry. Heidi. Oh, is Heidi frozen?
I believe Heidi might be frozen.
Oh.
Nope.
I think it was
there
There
she
you
Becker.
go.
is.
There you go.
Becker.
Becker. Okay. It was just
Yeah,
Ken.
it's spelled with it's an A with an umlaut.
Okay.
Do you wear Nike? Do you wear Reebok? Miss Bäcker?
No.
Yeah,
I
it
feel
is
like
the
I
three
feel
of
like
us and
she's
none of us
wearing
should.
have
like
those.
New
Sensible
Balance.
flat.
I was gonna say I feel like she's wearing like those old fashioned nurse shoes that they used to wear before they all started
Yeah.
wearing New Balance shoes.
The non-slips.
Yeah, like the non-slips. They're like stained, but like stark white.
So sadly, that is not
Should
a
we just
theory
like
that
go
works
check
out.
the pool again then?
Well, that
See if
just
it's still
Well,
there.
hold,
That's
hold.
not-
Because we also found there was a trail either coming from the pool to the woods or from the woods to the pool.
Oh, there was a trail. Maybe we should check the woods.
Yeah, I think we should
I-
follow the trail.
We can do both with a single action. God, I don't want this to be the way this is introduced, but this is going to be fantastically stupid. Everyone, we should prepare in case we need to defend ourselves. If you have methods to defend yourself, then go gather it, and then we will meet at the pool.
In
hold
what
on.
manner are you suggesting that we will need to defend ourselves? We're doing nothing more than going on a short hike, are we not?
There was a scream, madam. Someone was injured.
there?
Someone was frightened at the very least.
Maybe
All of you are definitely aware of the scream and agree that it happened, even if it seems
I
like
don't-
out of everyone you've spoken to, you're the only ones who remember it.
I mean, I
Maybe-
don't think that we need to be the one to get into any skirmishes. I think that if we follow the trail and there's something going on, then we go to the authorities and we bring back people who are trained to take care of such a thing.
I assure you, Miss Fletcher, despite your painting of me in local articles, I am not one to just willy-nilly endanger the safety of my students. I simply mean that if we do come upon a situation where we have to defend ourselves, we should be prepared to do so. We should not go, in fact, looking for trouble. But as in fact we are looking for trouble.
I don't know about the rest of you, but I have papers to finish. Don't you have another class that you have to get started, Professor?
Don't worry, Associate Professor Ruxpin is handling that.
Amazing.
God damn.
I worry for the collegium that follows after.
I
But-
have tenure, they can't fire me.
Look, if you're too
true.
afraid to go potentially save someone, then please, by all means, go do your
Save them.
Your
Save
paper.
them. They've been what? Murdered now for 6+ hours?
We don't know.
It's been
that.
like
While we've been
We don't
running
know.
around
They
doing
could
other
have-
things?
They could have hurt themselves in some way. We don't know. They could have been screaming for all manner of reasons. We do not know that there is some person hurting somebody else yet.
And how do we know that it's not the theater club or
We don't.
one of the other?
Which is why we're
We'll
going to go
see exactly
investigate.
why we should go investigate those first before we go gallivanting into the woods needlessly.
Then you go ahead and do that, and the rest of us will be brave, and we'll go investigate the
Fine,
actual
I'll
trouble.
do the real science.
Oh no!
oh,
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
they lost.
Oh noes!
Not real bickering. I
Uh,
promise.
We've driven her away.
That's fine.
They
I'm
have
scared her off, I'm
they've been
sorry.
frozen for a bit. I was waiting for your argument to end before I was like, I think we lost.
Oh no! Please, I can argue for hours. Please, just interrupt me when you need to.
I was having too much fun letting you argue. I was enjoying it.
What if we just?
So this is a good time
Yes.
for me to remind people that even though you can't really see me on screen, which is preferable, hashtag spooky
Or me.
snacks in the chat to enter the raffle. If you've already entered twice, you can keep putting it in there, but I'm not adding you to the list anymore. On
You've hit
Halloween,
your
I
maximum.
will pick a random winner to win a mystery box from us. Tomorrow, I'm just going to keep killing time unless somebody else wants to do something. I don't know if we want to keep going without Heidi.
Let me see if I can.
Well, while you do that, I'm going to go over the
Let's give her a
schedule.
poke.
tomorrow night we have The Coming of Apophysis, which is a Cortex Prime one-shot that Roadkill is running. Roadkill is amazing. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hold on, I need to pull up the calendar now that I say that, because I don't actually remember when things are, because there's way too much stuff going on.
There's so much stuff going on.
Let me pull up my official calendar that I pinned, and I always forget that I pinned it. Okay, so tomorrow is Coming of Apophysis, 8 p.m. Central here. Sunday is Star Trek, I believe.
Yes, Star Trek.
And that is going
Yes.
to...
I'm gonna be a scientist.
I'm going to be
Science!
a whale.
I'm going to be an
cannot- oh, there it is.
insufferable command doctor.
I believe I believe they're doing tech at 6:30 Central, and then the game should go live around 7ish, is what I am assuming for that. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. Anywhere between 6:30 and 7 Central on Sunday, the game will start here. Lottie, one of my favorite people in the entire world, is running that game. It's going to be great. Monday is Call of Cthulhu, where Roadkill is running that as well. Tuesday is our Avatar game, where the majority of people here are actually in that game.
Yes.
And that is run by another one of my favorite people, John, who is in Villains with us. He is great. Wednesday is Power Ranger Centurion. I'm just going to keep talking until somebody tells me to shut the fuck up.
All right,
so
go.
please
Update.
interrupt me.
Fuck
Okay,
up.
great.
Oh, hold on. Update.
Update. Gray will be rejoining us soon. However,
Okay.
you're going to need to readjust the cameras because their laptop is dead and their desktop does not have a camera.
Okay, cool. Cool. No worries. I got this. It's going to be fine.
So while we're doing that, while Elizabeth's taking care of that, that is Power Rangers. Is also going to be on Wednesday.
We're doing Centurion on Power Ranger. We're doing
Yep.
Centurion Ridge on Wednesday.
Yep.
Next Thursday, do we have anything going on next Thursday?
We do not have anything going on Thursday. And then we're back
Surprisingly.
here for chill on Friday, same time.
Then Saturday the 19th is going to be Saturday Morning Badgers with Kindermage.
It
Yep.
Um,
is.
Shock the rock.
And
That is at 9 a.m. Central.
next, I think we got Shadowrun on the opposite Tuesday. Sorry, Monday again, being Call of Cthulhu. Shadowrun on the opposite Tuesday. The 27th, we have 10 Candles run by Teslin.
That should be fun.
Right. The 25th is the last session of Chill.
Yeah.
Provided you haven't, figured out the mystery and all the clues and stuff ahead of time. I've got this planned out that this session was basically you coming together, figuring out what's going on, and so on and so forth, and hopefully it'll lead to a big event on the 25th.
26th being Destination Investigations, Love and War. And then last, but certainly not least, October 31st is the Out of This World Death Spectacular with prize drawing run by Isabet's playing Alien the RPG.
Yeah, we're doing Centurion Ridge, I believe, on the 30th also.
Yes, sorry. It's
I have
I do-
the cam. What's up? I'm sorry, Gray. Go ahead.
I do return minus video feed.
Okay. Are you gonna
Technical-
leave your camera off then?
I don't. I had to come to my desktop. My laptop is having a time.
Yeah, no
I don't have
worries.
a camera.
No worries. I can fix that. Oh, wrong one. Wrong one. Whoops.
I was going to say, I thought I mentioned the fact that they'd be returning without Sam's camera.
I
You
misunderstood
did.
you. You did. I
Yeah.
misunderstood you. I thought you meant I was gonna have to fix them because they were gonna be on a different camera.
No.
Don't mind me.
No,
I'm just dumb.
for next week, I'm going to wrangle an actual camera that I can use with my desktop.
No
I just
worries.
don't have one at the moment.
It's all good.
We are actually going to take a quick 5-minute break so that I can do this off camera. Because
Excellent.
otherwise, everybody is going to be moving around and it's going to be really hard to pay attention. So we're going to take a quick break and then I will fix everything.
So while we're doing that, if you're just listening at home, get your hashtag spooky snack into the chat.
And we'll be back.
All right.
did you do?
I didn't do a goddamn thing. I'm innocent.
Liar!
What
Uh,
hast thou done?
It's a ghost.
It's a cute ghost.
Oh my god!
That was so
Awful.
They've been replaced with a ghost.
Ghosted.
Blue.
I couldn't stand for there not to be anything there, so I put an adorable spoopy ghost.
That was why she was laughing, because they have been
Yes.
replaced with a ghost.
I'm very
I
happy
cannot
about
express
it.
to you how fine I am with this. Heck yeah. This is
All right.
Adorable.
spoopy little ghost.
Okay, so you're arguing about who's gonna
Where to
do what?
go, what to do. Like, I
Right.
don't think we should go to the forest first. I think we should
No,
go.
we should check
look
out the
at
woods.
the theater kids, because they're always loud. They're always playing music, and they're always having some sort of play. And I know that one's probably coming up soon.
I mean, sometimes you got the jocks who are, playing rock music and
Yeah.
ultimate frisbee at the same time in the quad.
You go ahead and go do that. Go ahead. I'm going this way. You go do you. I'm gonna go over here, and I'm gonna be brave
I will
and
take
do
the
what I
most
do.
logical choice.
The concern here, young man, is that we have already wasted enough time. If someone was in danger, the more time that we spend investigating other avenues, the closer that they could be to not being found.
I mean, at this point, the trail would already be cold.
The first 24 hours are the most important. We are walking. Come.
All right, let me get another coffee.
But yes, I swing back to my office, and because
Grab your favorite tool.
the only thing that Professor Cuthbert Cropper knows how to defend himself with is his crossbow, and he fully pulls out his replica working crossbow, gets his thing, and in full-on tenure professor mode has it slung over his shoulder as he is walking back to the pool. And I think it's one of those things of like, he gets some looks, but not nearly as much as he should be getting for just wandering with a crossbow around.
Now, a lot of the students who've been around for a while have heard of your infamous crossbow lecture, so they're just like, is he early? What's going on? Like, and you're walking towards the sports complex.
Yep.
And so they're all, some of them are curious, but a lot of them are just ignoring you.
Ken's not that annoying, is he?
Is anybody not going, aka Bob Ivan? Are you returning to your dissertation paperwork?
Or to talk to the theater kids. The janitor has no authority over you.
Yeah,
Oh,
no.
true.
Quite literally, I'm about to phase out of this, so like I give 0 Fs. 0 fucks are giving.
All right. So as the group separates,
yes.
you're not coming back.
Oh, I'm gonna go check my email. I'm gonna grab that copy, check my email, rejoin them reluctantly with an empty cup that I'll put into the trash can.
Lest you get murdered.
Plus, I don't want to be murdered. And I'll just stay up tonight too to work on dissertation paperwork.
No sleep for the grad student. That tracks.
That's on par.
Heidi is gonna go directly to one of her many supply closets and pull out a mop.
A mop.
And tucked in like the back of one of the shelves of the closet, there's like a neat row of like 10 different cans and brands of like pepper spray, bear spray, like assorted different sprays, mostly that she keeps on hand for her daughter, but she's gonna take one out and like holster it on her belt.
Yep, she is preparing for most things.
Alright, so from what I understand, Alexis, you're just going straight to like the pool because you're not planning to grab anything, right?
Yeah, she's not grabbing anything. She was just gonna head to she wants to follow the trail.
Yeah, Ken's following along with you because sports center's where his quote-unquote weapons would be anyway.
Did I get an email back from the guy doing the extra chemistry work, or Or is that like...
You have not, unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah. So I have
And then-
nothing but this empty cup that I've thrown away. In my
Yep, so-
hands.
You show up to the designated meeting place, aka the pool in the sports complex, empty-handed. Professor Cropper has a crossbow for some strange reason. Surprise, surprise, Heidi has a mop. I don't believe that Alexis has anything other than her camera.
Nope. Her camera and her fists.
And Ken, what did you grab?
Well, that the question, because it's also on the way with Alexis. So, like, we've got a bunch of stuff. What do you think I should grab? We've got like some javelins. There's a boomerang. That thing's nuts, though. We're going to like the woods. There's a spear. Should I grab a spear?
You mean the javelin?
Nah, a javelin's different than a spear.
Oh, that's true. That's fair.
Also, asking Alexis.
If
She's
you
the one.
feel if you would feel safer with that, then I think sure, then you should grab that.
No, but like which one?
The pokier one.
Okay. Do you want one?
No, I'm fine. I don't really think that we're gonna find anything. I don't think that there's going to be any conflict. I think maybe somebody hurt themselves, and I don't know, but I really don't think there's gonna be any conflict. I don't think there's gonna be any need for weapons. But if you would feel safer with a weapon, please bring one.
I mean, but the professor told me to grab one.
Do you
Okay.
want a can of bear spray?
What? No. What?
Um,
Why is that on school?
sure. I'll take some bear spray. And she sets her
run
camera
back-
to like flash so she can like startle people with bright lights in their eyes, and she has a bear mace.
She'll run back to her supply closet and get you some bear mace.
She'll grab the one. She'll go to the supply closet that's at the in the sports complex.
Thank you.
There's
Everyone
so
knows how
close.
much
Stash
bears
everywhere.
love sports.
You're in Appalachia. There are bears.
Also, and I hate the fact that I know this, it is the legally strongest pepper spray you can own.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
How many bottles do you think she keeps around for her daughter? A lot.
So is anybody gonna like go looking for the shoe?
Do we want to look for this
Or
mysterious...
are people ignoring the
object here?
pool shoe?
No,
Hashtag
hashtag justice for Grigor shoe.
Were we
Holy
were going because that's where the trail either started or ended, right? Was
Yeah.
by the pool?
Correct.
So I figured that's where we were starting. So
Yeah.
while we're there waiting for everybody to get back, then yeah, Alexis will probably
Sure.
look for the shoe.
All
I
right.
guess we're pulling the cover back up.
Yep, you're pulling the cover back off.
I hope you don't mind doing most of the work because Alexis is not very athletic.
Nah, I figured.
This is a good workout, Ken.
Good resistance.
All right. Go ahead and make me a perception check. You just need you need at least a low result. Anything that passes.
Nope.
Yes, I got a critical.
Hey.
Yeah, you don't know what she's talking about, Ken. There's nothing in the water.
Whatever.
So
I'm too busy pulling the cover. It's heavy.
yeah, it's heavy. The water.
On one side, I'm helping. It's not
The
that
water
heavy.
looks
Are you-
normal, Ken. By the way, that weird discoloration's gone.
It's a good filter.
Yep. There's no shoe in the water. It's there's no shoe, but there is a shoelace in the filter.
Ha! I knew there was a shoe in this water somewhere, and she's gonna like drop the cover. I don't know how far we've gotten it yet, but she's just gonna drop it and go
Probably
over.
Probably about halfway.
And she's gonna grab the shoelace. Ha! Shoelace.
All right, yeah. What does that mean?
It means the wind blew a shoelace into the pool. Or any number of other things that could happen that are completely mundane.
Anyway. And she's just gonna like pretend like he didn't even speak. It proves that at some point there was a shoe in this water. But the question still remains, why was it in the picture, but it wasn't, we couldn't see it?
I think, have we all arrived yet at this point?
Yeah, you can assume everybody's together.
Yeah.
Is there anything on the lace itself, Fletcher? Is it frayed? Is it bloody?
Is there anything on the lace itself?
Other than the fact that it is soaking wet, no, not that you can tell.
It's normal. It's not frayed. There's no blood on it. It looks normal.
It's odd because if it was part of a shoe, you should have a section of the shoelace, not the whole shoelace.
It looks like somebody just pulled the entire lace out of the shoe and left it in the water.
Again, we're near the sports complex. It can be easily explained by a number of shoes passing through, needing to replace shoelaces. Someone forgets to throw it away properly, and
Then we'll all have a funny story to tell at the end of your mixer that none of you are invited to except for Miss. Sorry, Heidi. What's your last name? Bäcker.
Bäcker.
Then aside from Mrs. Bäcker.
fantastic.
Kenneth, put the
Yeah.
cover back. Let's go.
You're gonna leave it half uncovered? Didn't we just have a full discussion of this earlier today about closing?
Heidi, sorry, not Heidi, brain. Alexis, I want you
Yes.
to make a forensics check.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Sorry, I have way too many things open currently. Ooh, I passed. I got a medium. I got a medium result.
Okay, so looking at this shoelace,
Mhm.
the shoelace itself, you can see where it's been stretched to fit, in the little eyelets where it normally goes.
Mhm.
But if this was a shoelace so this isn't a shoelace that somebody pulled out of the package and dropped, and this isn't a broken shoelace because the shoelace is still whole. One of the aglets is showing a little damage, but that's because that happens as you use a shoelace.
Right.
But this looks like it should still be attached to a shoe. Like there's no fraying in the middle. It's not like a snapped one. And you're pretty sure you remember something about the school offering for its scholarship, like sports scholarship students, like they give them different supplies to help maintain their gear. So shoelaces is one of the things they replace. So they have like boxes upon boxes of shoelaces to replace them for students, so they don't have to go and buy a whole new pair of shoes. In fact, for some of the students, they'll even buy them shoes for like big events and things like that.
Ken,
Uh-huh.
are you here on scholarship?
Yeah.
Wasn't there something that the school was offering to athletes? They were going to give them
Yeah,
like
tuition.
besides that. But they were also like offering them like gear or something like that to like incentivize them taking the scholarships and coming here.
I mean, yeah, they take care of some of the stuff, and like obviously, like we don't have to bring in our own equipment. That's why I could grab the stuff from. I have no idea why they like subsidize boomerangs. That's super weird.
That is right.
But we have like multiple boomerangs.
And God forbid
Wasn't
the
it
art
to
department get
replace the
anything.
ultimate frisbee?
And okay, so I agree. I agree that this shoelace could have been put here for any number of normal reasons. I agree with you, as much as it pains me. However, that the problem that I'm having is that we were here staring at this water, this clear water, and there was nothing in it. And yet the picture that I took of that same water that I was staring at, there's a shoe. Now, I know how to take pictures. I know how to develop pictures. I have checked everything and rechecked it. There's no problem with this photo. That shoe is there. That is why I'm having a problem with this shoestring. The picture, the shoe in the picture, does it have the shoelaces in it?
It did.
Okay.
In fact, it looked like it was like like somebody had one of those fashionable high tops where they don't tie the top of the shoelace. They let them like hang kind of loose,
Okay.
which explains why there's a little fraying on the aglet. That's not like damage that you would expect if somebody pulled the shoelace out.
Right.
It's damage you would expect from normal wear and tear.
Okay. Yeah, she'll pull the picture out and say, okay, so the shoestring is not really damaged. There's a little bit of fraying here. And if you look at this picture, it looks like that the fraying could have come from the way that this person wears their shoes.
That being said, as Mrs. Bäcker did point out, time is of the essence. We can discuss the forensics of the shoes and plausibility and everything that later. If we just started all taking a quick walk through the woods and having a fantastic afternoon, there are worse ways to spend it. But if we can help someone, let's.
Would you like to lead the way, Professor?
He slings the crossbow over his shoulder and marches off to in the direction of the where the path was.
Oh, so dramatic.
Here we
She'll immediately start like pumping her arms. It's hike time.
All right, so there's a couple things I want for the group to do.
Okay.
This will be just to measure how well your character does on this particular hike. I want you to make me an athletics check. Don't worry if you fail. That just means your character is struggling to climb the mountain. And for whoever's in the lead, I also want you to make me a tracking check after you make your athletics check.
Sure. There's not actually an
athletics
athletics skill.
Yeah.
There's
Sorry.
running.
No,
Like a
I'm
skill
sorry.
Running.
I want you to make me an agility check. Excuse me.
Okay.
Agility. Got it.
Yes.
Oh, good. Why am I leading this?
Not my strongest. Of
I don't
suits,
think
but
anybody
sure.
has tracking as a skill.
Hey, I did actually. Nope. Never
Are you
mind.
kidding me? I have a 70 and I still failed.
I extra failed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a fail.
So I got a high result.
My tracking is 19. Is anyone have a higher than 19 who wants to take the lead, or we'll go with the narrative of poor little Cuthbert here marching off into the woods?
Well, to be fair, the only person who actually has passed the agility check so far is Ken.
I think that puts me in the lead by default.
I think it does.
Like,
Oh,
And I'm
good.
pretty sure Ken's tracking is like an 8.
It's an 11. Thank you.
So you see
Oh,
us struggling, getting up hills and stuff, and
crit
he just
success.
like pass us.
All right.
Oh, crit success. What?
No, I'm telling Kit to crit success.
All right. Let's find out. Woo!
I'm willing it into existence. That
That's a
is not-
63. That's not even.
Yeah, with an 11, he needs an odd 1. Just saying.
Yeah, I can't. Nope. So I'm feeling great about the hike, but I have no idea where we are.
Is it one of
Alright,
those things of we're following Ken for a while, and then Ken goes, "So who's leading here?" And we
So,
So,
where are we
like, which
going?
way should I be going?
All right, let me set the scene here so you guys understand what's going on based on
Alright.
dice results.
Yeah.
The group sets off. Heidi is having trouble because this isn't usually one of the paths that she takes when she hikes. So she's having a little trouble finding the path. She's not winded or anything by the time the group comes to a stop. However, Alexis and Bob Ivan, as well as poor Professor Cropper are the reason the group comes to a stop. Because you need a break. You've been following Ken, who is just powering through this. Like, he's actually like getting ahead of the group. He stops, looks around, does like that whole like, oh, this is cool internally. Like, this is me being Indiana Jones. This is awesome. By the time you stop to take a break, he's like, okay, so where are we going? I'm assuming those are the words that would come out of his mouth when he's like, when he's finally had a chance to stop being
Yeah.
excited.
He's been imagining the dotted line and the music.
We're traveling by map.
Everyone stops. They're taking a break. It's like, all right. So where do we go from here, guys?
Wait, did you? I thought we were following you.
Mr. Ken, we've been
Huh?
following you for the past 10 minutes.
Oh, I don't
For
like the
crying
water
out loud.
dried, so I thought someone like knew where to go. Like we were just like going this general direction. I thought maybe someone else would have like something more specific. I mean, I can pick a direction. Like we can just keep
We should
going.
probably go back and look for footprints.
Can I roll a perception check to see if I can see anything?
Sure.
Perceive.
Sadly, I think the professor has the highest for tracking. I only have a 14.
I have a 16. In tracking. I did pass. It's a low result though.
Well, you're not lost, which is good. Because you've had a chance to stop and take stock of where you are. You've been traveling for maybe half an hour. It's getting close to like 1:15, 1:30 in the afternoon. Depends on whether or not your character's like wearing a watch, whether or not you actually know exactly what time it is.
Cuthbert's got a full-on pocket watch. You kidding me? Chain and everything.
Yeah, well, Cuthbert can tell you it's about 1:20 in the afternoon, which is a very specific time, but I'm giving a specific time on purpose. Because right around this time, the sun has started its descent, but since Alexis is the only one that's looked around, it's darker than you would expect. Probably because there's more clouds in the sky than you would normally see around this time of year.
Do they look like rain? Like, does it look like it's gonna rain, or is it just like a lot of like, do they look like dark rain clouds, or do they just look like there's a lot of clouds in the sky and it's covering up the sun?
It looks like there's a lot of clouds in the sky, and it is covering up the sun.
Okay.
But you can see rain clouds coming off the mountains.
Okay.
Which is actually unusual because usually they're going towards the mountains.
Right. Well, that's kind of weird. It looks like rain is headed our direction.
Well, all the more prudent to head back. We didn't see anything 10 minutes on this trail.
You know, if
More
you don't want to be here,
indication
then
that there
just
wasn't
go.
anything here.
If you don't want to be here, then just go. I'm gonna
It's
stay.
Scientific fact. We haven't found.
At the
anything.
very least, let me
See
do something.
anything.
And
Yes.
Cuthbert stands up, looks like he's about to do something like scientific like that, and just basically puts his hand in his mouth and goes, "Hello? Is anyone out there? Does anyone need help?"
No response.
Are you dead?
Ollie,
Still no
Ollie,
response.
oxen free.
I don't like you making fun of my accent, Evans.
I wasn't attempting to. Sorry, Professor. I think
So
it's time to head back.
I want you to I want to alert the players to something very specific.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
death.
No. If any of you have the calendar open,
Oh, I don't.
Nope.
Yeah.
No. The
it
calendar-
is.
There's a
Yeah,
calendar.
it's one of the modules. If you go under the configure settings, there is an option for the simple calendar. If you're not showing it, you want to click the button because it shows you exactly what time it is in game time.
Uh-huh. How do I become it? There it is.
Settings.
So the settings is the gear icon in the upper right corner.
Gotcha.
And then configure settings is the first option. On
There
the
you go.
left, you're going to choose simple calendar at the bottom. And then when you click simple calendar, it'll bring it up. Shows you the date and time.
I don't like the fact that tomorrow is the new moon.
Right, but it shows you the date and time.
Hey,
By the way, I picked 1996 because October 11th was also a Friday in 1996.
I mean, how it says
It's-
4:23,
Oh,
even though you told us
yeah.
1.
Correct. It is, by the time you get back to the school, the clocks at the school are showing a 3-hour time difference from what the professor's pocket watch is showing.
I think you need to get your watch checked, Professor.
This watch has been maintained more than most relationships. This watch is working perfectly.
did you twist it? You know, some of those old pocket watches you have to twist to keep it running.
I refer back to the fact that this has been maintained to the utmost.
Are you quite certain? Because I've missed the start of my next shift. I should be leaving the school by now.
Well, let me ask you this, and I ask everyone in this group except for Kenneth. We just ate
Aw.
we just ate lunch. Are any of you hungry? Are any of you fatigued to the point of having us been walking for 3 hours?
I could eat.
Perhaps the rest of you wouldn't be if you joined the running club.
I
Well,
mean, we could go
So
get a
for
snack.
those
I mean,
of
I
you
could eat too.
for those of you who run and or walk regularly, which is most of you, but not
Yeah.
all of you, you feel like you've had a light workout, which would explain the climbing up the mountain, looking around for a little bit, and then deciding, since you've lost track of whatever it was, to leave. Because let's be honest, you would have been out in the woods and probably gotten lost if you'd have stayed out there. Most of you are smart enough to know that it's best to go ahead and cut your losses at that point because of the clouds and the storm. Ken, you feel fine.
Yeah.
You've had a light workout.
Yeah.
Heidi, you also feel like you've had, a walk through a slightly difficult trail for about an hour, which is about how long you were gone. Professor, you're feeling a little winded. You've been doing a lot more walking today than you do on a normal basis.
I don't walk in terrain. I walk on the treadmill.
Right. You walk on the treadmill, you walk around the campus, you do a lot of flat walking, not a lot of ups and downs. For the other two, this is way more walking than you're used to, so you're winded. In fact, you feel kind of hungry, like it's been a few hours since you've eaten. But the
I'm
rest
just
of you seem
sulking.
fine.
I mean, to compare and contrast against his pocket watch, I would assume I have like a wristwatch.
Yeah.
Like a
Your
Casio
wristwatch is
wristwatch.
your wristwatch has the same problem his pocket watch has.
Maybe it needs
By
to
the
be
way,
maintained a little bit better.
You could go for another cup of coffee. You are very tired. Like, not just physically tired, but like the toll of not having slept, along with a bunch of physical activity, is really one of those, like, maybe I should go to bed now.
Yeah. So I think that's he's gonna be like, you know what? We've done a lot of stuff today. I have a chemistry grad working on the water sample for us. I turned it over myself, but I didn't see anything. But science, have someone else peer review, etc., etc. Maybe now is a good time to let ourselves mull this over. We didn't find anyone, thank God. We've investigated the pool thoroughly. We have an odd image on the photo that we can't explain. I think if you guys want to continue doing this, maybe we meet back up tomorrow morning when we've all had some food and rest and whatnot. I mean, I am not the most fit person here. No one can exceed Kit. I mean,
Kenneth.
Ken.
Wrong K name, you fool.
You fell into my trap.
fell into your K trap. That's an actual trap, by the way. Fun facts. And maybe we just go for a rest, or at least mold us over some food. I'm starving all of a sudden. And yes, no, it has not passed me that both my watch and Professor's watch are not acting correctly, and mine's digital. It can't be messed with as easily. It can't just come loose and, we twisted it and forgot to. It's running on a battery. It's hard set.
Joe, is the
So-
professor, would he use a windable pocket watch, or does he actually have a battery powered one?
It is windable, but it is one of those things again, as we've highly established. Cuthbert here is very much a being of habit, so it is something he usually would not forget.
Wind in the
40+
morning,
minutes.
wine before bed.
Yeah, basically, it's just like it's one of those things of like like smokers who, even if they quit when they're on the phone, will suddenly start doing the like holding it in their hand. Like there was one time like a couple years ago where his pocket watch had to be repaired, and he was still just winding it in his hands unconsciously in the morning and before going to bed, even though it wasn't there.
Right. So it's a one full wind is 24 hours, and yet he winds it every 10 to 12 hours on reflex.
Yes.
Fair enough. Yeah, the group has had some thoughts. Some of you have things to do. In fact, Heidi, now that you've gotten back, your school issued pager goes off.
Yeah, it's probably she'll answer it and stuff.
Well, I mean, it's got your boss's phone number,
Yep.
which means you either need to go see your boss or go find a payphone. Right. Pagers were the thing in the 90s.
Oh, jeez.
They were huge. Huge.
I do think there's everyone having to talk, and there's that moment where Professor goes, "Toshi, Professor Ruskman, I need to go. Yes, we'll meet back somewhere. Kenneth will find me." And then he goes running off to his classroom.
Kenneth, the glue holding the group together.
Kenneth is the one who knows almost everybody in this group.
Uh,
Associate Professor Ruxpin, I love it.
Associate Professor Expert. He knows everything, except for how to actually talk.
so Ken will look at Alexis. You want to grab food then?
Yeah, I could eat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might as well sit down and have a meal. Perhaps I was hasty in judging or misjudging your photograph. I know that you're in the photography club and that you do lots of work. Or not photography club, I'm sorry. The journalism.
Thank you.
School
Sorry.
paper.
She's in the
School
school paper, which they refer to themselves as the Journalism Union.
And
Club.
I am a serious journalist.
For the school, yes.
For now. Once I release that expose on Professor Cuthbert, though, I'm telling you, my name will be known
Sounds like-
everywhere. Or I'm sorry, Cropper, Professor Cropper.
You're not going to use my first name.
It sounds like you'll have a wonderful tabloid in the back of the newspaper.
So Ken,
I
aren't we
assume
gonna
Heidi
go to
is,
dinner?
Oh yeah, Heidi sped walk away as soon as her pager started going off.
Right. Okay. Which your boss is just wondering, like, what happened, because you're usually on point, etc. He's gonna, when you tell him you were working with Professor Cropper on a project, he's like, oh, him. Okay. Yeah. No. Do I need somebody to cover your usual zones to help him?
Perhaps for for tomorrow. I can't see this going on too long.
I'm sorry. I just remembered that I have the crossbow with me. So right now on campus, Cuthbert Cropper is bolting to his classroom with a crossbow over his shoulder, saying, "I'm coming, Associate Professor Ruxpin," as he's running to class.
Oh no, the Heidi's boss is the head of maintenance. So he does more than just janitorial work. He's also the guy who ends up having to redo the the siding of the walls after your infamous crossbow lecture. And you were spotted with a crossbow today.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's just like, okay, no, all right. Sometimes we gotta replace the sheetrock on the walls because of him. It's just a thing. The school won't get rid of him because he's got tenure, and we just got to deal with it.
Perhaps for the next few days.
All right. Here, take this, and he hands you like a different set of keys than the ones you normally use, just in case.
Why, thank you. And I will prevent him from causing too much property damage this time.
I appreciate it.
You just wrote a check you cannot cash. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
You want to stand up? You want to stand up to a mop and bear spray?
So your keys will normally get you your set of keys will normally get you into anything but the restricted areas of the school. Restricted areas usually being the areas where like like some of the highly dangerous research is going on. Some of the teachers' offices you can't get into if they lock them. You can't get into admissions or the dean's office once the office closes down. So he's given you keys to restricted areas to make sure that Professor Cropper gets whatever he's doing done, and it's done and over with as quickly as possible.
Keys get.
Indeed. You now have access to more areas of the school than normal.
Heck yeah.
And he immediately pulls out a folder and starts writing on a piece of paper that has 3 different pieces of carbon paper between other copies of the same form.
Oh my god.
He's filling out a form in quadruplicate.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who remember what carbon paper is, oh boy.
That's still in use.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
But not as often as it was.
Oh yeah, no, it was a daily thing. You could put it in a typewriter.
My first paycheck was on carbon paper.
Yeah. You used to have to use carbon paper and the little slot machine to get the numbers off of the credit card as
Mhm.
proof.
Yep, I remember having to do
remember
that whenever
those.
the credit card machine went down when I was working at Domino's more than 20 years ago.
Oh yeah, no. I was in a theme park when I learned how to use it. Nightmare, absolute nightmare when the POS machine goes down and you have to do
Anyway,
everything
enough
by hand.
reminiscing. Enough reminiscing. Moving on. Alexis, are you trying to ditch Bob Ivan?
Yes, he said something about me being in the tabloids, and now I want him gone. So she like absolutely like she is incredibly offended, and she's like, "Ken, weren't we gonna go to dinner together?"
Yeah.
Sorry,
You enjoy your date, Ken.
he will. And she's gonna like grab Ken's arm and just drag him away.
Let's be honest, this is entirely how all of Ken's relationships happen.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Someone
This is
just shows
fine.
up and says, "We're dating now," and Ken's like, "Awesome."
Cool. Great. I'm glad to be a part of it.
I get those benefits, right?
Uh,
I don't know how I don't know how much Ken thinks about that, but you know.
Yeah, no, he's more worried about like the next sport he's doing.
Anyway,
I'm here
she
for
lets go
track
of
and
his arm.
field.
Like they go around the corner, and she's like, "Okay, good. Now, let's go."
Oh, Ken's immediately broken up with.
She didn't say that.
He'll
each of
find
you
out
goes
later.
each of you goes to your respective places. By the way, Apparently the students have come by and collected their tape recorders. Assistant Professor Ruxpin is missing.
He's been kidnapped. We have to put all of our resources into solving this.
Forget the ghost shoe.
Yeah. Fuck you, Ghost Shoe. We got a new missing person on the case.
But one of the the assistant Professor Ruxpin does belong to one of the students. So, he'll be back tomorrow.
That's fair.
When you give the second part of Hatshepsut's Reign's lecture, aka in this case, Assistant Professor Ruxpin will probably end up giving the lecture.
I do think there's a wonderful moment where he puts his hand on where Assistant Professor Ruxpin was and goes, TAs these days, and then walks off. He's much more unhinged than I planned him when I made this character, but you know what?
That's how
I've
it
got
goes, man.
tenure.
I've got tenure. Sorry.
All right.
So
Really
when I
cocky.
upload this to YouTube, that's going to be the name of this episode. Is I've got tenure.
That's going to be great.
Love it.
So the group goes home. Nothing seems out of the ordinary. For the students who are walking around and Professor Cropper, I'm assuming Heidi, after getting the keys, goes home to make dinner.
Yeah. Her Schrodinger's husband is coming back soon, so
Schrodinger's
Or not.
husband, He does a lot of. He's a
he's
as
an
she's told people, he's a mercenary accountant, aka he's an accountant for hire, so he's constantly traveling. I need the group to make me some perception checks.
While I do that, I just gotta say, I like the idea that Heidi comes home and doesn't actually see her husband, just has a note saying "Love you, have to work late in the home office," and then she goes and leaves the dinner. Like I don't think the camera will ever see Schrodinger's husband the entire time we play this game.
Of course not.
well that would ruin the
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 immersion. That would ruin the immersion. Come
Can
on.
I ask a
that would
question?
ruin the thought experiment. If we see him, we know that he's there.
May I ask a
Yes,
question?
What's the question?
Our luck, does it refresh next session, or do we just have the number of points that we have for all 3 sessions?
It's gonna last. It's got to last you the entire case.
Okay. Okay.
Well, Heidi sees nothing. She's too busy cooking dinner and wondering where Laura is.
I miss it by 2.
I got a medium result.
A medium result. I know for a fact that Ken failed.
Oh yeah, no, it's double my score.
Yeah,
God.
Ken is still unlike. I was told to enjoy my date. All right, cool. I guess I'm going on a date.
yeah, we're gonna go get food. It's gonna be great.
Yep.
Alexis.
Poor
failed
Alexis
too.
is stuck wrangling Ken on
That
this.
is
You guys
so,
act like it's hard. I've done literally everything anyone's told
I
me.
like to think that when when they say it's a date, something triggers in Ken's brain and he actually starts properly treating it like a date and is maybe not sweeping Alexis off her feet, but being respectably charming and everything like that to a point where Alexis hasn't experienced that side of Ken before.
She probably
Holding
doesn't
the
even
door
notice.
open.
She hasn't even noticed yet because she's still like internally ranting about the tabloid thing. So she hasn't even noticed the change in Ken.
I'm
'cause to her,
surprised
not
it's
a date.
internal. I assumed it would be out loud bitching.
So
I mean,
Maybe
That
a
is a-
little.
I think Bob's gonna get the sausages they got earlier for the grad student. Go back up and check in with him.
you go check on the chemistry student before.
See if he's
Have
alive
another cup of
before I go to
coffee?
bed. No, before I go to bed. I'm actually gonna take my own advice as a psychiatrist and sleep.
Yeah, by the time you get to the chemistry lab, it's shut down, so
Okay.
nobody's there.
Cool.
But you've got
I'm
some
gonna
dinner
eat
at
these.
least.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat these on my way back with condiments. You savages, with at least some mustard.
He can't.
No,
He
the
didn't
whole
want to
reason-
ruin the chem cook.
Well, that's
Yeah.
actually the whole reason why he didn't add condiments is because minimal exposure to outside chemicals.
Yeah, that's fair. And so
Um,
I'm gonna go back to my room, check in with my roommate, check my email.
He's passed out. By the time you get back to your room, your roommate is like on his bed, just asleep.
Pull up my computer, check my email. Anything there?
Nope, nothing in your email yet. He did say it might take a bit for him to get to it.
That's fair. All right. Yeah, they're all working. I'll probably go through and start like spell checking some of my dissertation, and then like an hour or two later, be like, okay,
Sleep.
bedtime. This is actual sleep.
Uh,
Haven't
I
done this in
believe.
days.
I believe Cuthbert Cropper is the only one who actually passed with medium result. Yes.
yes.
Excellent. All right. So one of the things that you hear as you're wandering around the campus, heading to wherever it is you go for dinner, whether you eat on campus, whether you're heading to town to eat somewhere in town, whether you're going home to make yourself dinner, I don't know what his usual habit is. Or if he hits up the one of the more popular. There are several bars in town, but the most popular one is McGinty's Pub and Pizza,
I mean,
which is
beer and pizza sounds fantastic right now after the day I've had.
yeah. So McGinty's is unusual. It is one of the most popular places because it's open 24 hours a day. It is a triple split level location, which is weird. But the bar is on the lowest level. On the middle level is the actual kitchen, and then the top level is the restaurant. So the bottom level gets shut down when no alcohol sales are allowed. The kitchen always stays open, and they use lazy butlers to take plates and pizzas up and down, so nobody has to climb stairs.
For those at home,
Respectable.
dumb waiters.
There you go, dumbwaiter. Thank you. Couldn't remember what the hell they were called. Anyway,
I don't know. Lazy butler works for me. I like it.
I knew what you meant, and I was like, I believe he means a dumb waiter.
that is exactly what I meant, but I couldn't remember what it was because my brain sometimes is Swiss cheese. Anyway, so yeah, you can. It's still plenty of time because by the time you've cleaned everything up, set everything up, it's about 6:30, 7 o'clock. You've reset your clock to match the one that you saw in your office.
Yeah.
After putting your crossbow away. So it's up to you whether or not you're going to go to the bar side or go to the pizza side. You can get beer anywhere in that particular establishment. But the atmosphere is very different because the bar side has like pool tables and pinball machines and other arcade things. Whereas the restaurant itself has like claw machines and other family friendly activities.
Does the restaurant side have like a patio area to look out over the city or over the town kind of situation?
Yeah, since it's a literal triple split level building, the kitchen is ground level. The bar section actually is partially underground, and then the actual restaurant is elevated slightly, and they have a patio on the outside where you can see what's going on around town.
I think he's doing that. I think it's he doesn't want to be alone right now due to his past experiences and the mounting paranoia of this poor whacked out professor. But he doesn't want to be around people, but he wants to not be alone kind of situation. So I think he's like he's at a table. He's like looking out over the town. He's got a small pie and a beer, and he's just kind of like experiencing the night or the evening.
One of the things that you heard on your way inside is some of the students and some of the people who live in town are talking about how it's weird that some people, like, there's been a couple of people who nobody's seen for a day or two.
I don't. Here's the problem.
None of the names sound familiar to you. You know at least one of them is, the students are talking about one of their brain, make words good. Their frat brothers who hasn't been back to the frat house for a couple days. One of the guys is like, yeah, I bet he got a new girl and he's just staying with her. but one of the guys is like, well, I didn't see him in class. You know, the conversation's kind of going on where they're arguing as to whether or not he's actually missing or if he's just being lazy.
Mhm.
The townsfolk are talking about how, like, they're wondering whether or not that person left because they were talking about potentially leaving town. But their house, that nobody saw a moving truck or anything like that. They just haven't seen them for a couple days.
Quick question.
I might have an answer.
Yes, when I went to go check back on Associate Professor Ruxpin, and the lecture room, and all the recorders had been taken away. Had all of the recorders been taken away, or was there some left behind?
Nope, they were all gone.
Just want to make sure that no one didn't come back from them. Essentially, I will take note of this. I will not pull out my cell phone that doesn't exist, or at least I do not have. So I will. I'll make a note of it. I'm sure he's got like random like lecture ideas. Like he has like the little notebooks in his pockets for if I get a lecture idea, I will write it down. He hasn't used them in years, but he still has them. They're mainly full of doodles. But he will like write down missing people, and if anyone says a name, he will write it down just to be on the safe side. But then he's not going to, like, interrogate people. I have the personality of a particularly distracted teddy bear professor. So
So you do get two names.
Okay.
So the name of the frat boy, the frat brother who's missing, his name is Blake Willis. For those of you following along, he is Balake. Sorry, that particular sketch is still funny to me.
It's fantastic.
And the only thing you got for the other one was a last name. They referred to him as Mr. Harris.
So yeah, basically the notepad literally reads as follows: writes down the names, must ask Kenneth, and then there's ask Alexa, and then a line through it, ask Kenneth.
I am a delight.
Yeah.
Camera cuts back to you in the middle of a full-on rant, not having touched your food.
Yeah, not even realizing that Ken's trying to be like nice and charming because he thinks we're on a date.
I'm listening. That you got a listener in the date.
I was gonna say, I feel like Ken's like, oh, that sounds terrible. Oh no, he's such a dick.
He's paying.
It is-
He's actively listening.
It is literally the perfect couple of the person who constantly wants to vent and bitch and complain, and the person who will 100% sit there and engagingly listen to the entire thing.
He may not remember the rant, but he
Oh,
was
yeah.
definitely engaged during said rant.
There is
Yeah.
yapper and listener.
Laura comes home, by the way, just fine. She doesn't seem to have noticed your absence. She has dinner, she goes back to studying, and then she tells you that she has some of her and her friends are going out to McGinty's the next day for dinner, so not to wait for her because they're celebrating. They're celebrating the fact that they all are. It's more like they're pre-celebrating midterms.
Mm.
They're like, we're pre-celebrating midterms to get our hopes up.
They're manifesting midterms. If we
They're
celebrate
manifesting.
now,
Yeah, they're manifesting good grades at midterms. It's more likely they're just looking for a reason to goof off while studying for midterms.
Yeah, realizing this, but being in a breaking of character here, like a complete this never happens. Heidi will simply say, well, I hope you girls have fun.
Pod
that's
person.
trap. That's a trap.
She doesn't seem to notice as she's like, yeah, I hope we do too. It's gonna be great. It's just me and the girls. I'm gonna go back to studying. Have a good night, Mom.
I will. Oh, well, good night, Laura.
What were you gonna do?
It's these days. Well, she was going to say to her, well, I will also be out of the house myself. which doesn't happen aside from her like weekly hikes.
Yep.
It's okay. She doesn't need to know.
Yep. She is also she's aware you're helicopter mom, so any excuse she has to minimize contact.
Yep.
She's not mad, but she's also like kind of done.
She's like 21. She wants independence.
She does. All right. Things go well for those of you who are essentially out and about doing things. Nothing untoward happens. Go on to the next morning.
Dun,
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 dun, dun.
So who wakes up early?
I mean, Ken, obviously.
Heidi.
Also, Cropper's got that old man wake up at 6 o'clock for no reason.
Heidi wakes up at 4, eats muesli and black coffee, and then goes to work.
Oddly enough, I'm also up at 4 because I went to bed so early. And I'm just quietly clicking away at the keyboard, fixing
Okay.
dissertation madness.
I feel like at 6 a.m. Alexis is the only one still asleep.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Is
get my
Bob
morning
drinking
workout in.
coffee? And how much coffee
No.
has he had? Oh, okay.
No, because the cafe isn't open yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fair.
The only thing he
No.
hasn't, like at 6, he stops everything, gets 3 coffees.
3.
Well,
That's
yeah.
insanity.
You don't. I'm surprised you don't keep instant coffee in your dorm. Too poor for a kettle.
Yeah.
Were electric kettles a thing in the 90s? I hope
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yes,
Well,
but
yes and
also
no.
90s dorms had the rules of like you can't plug in an electronic over like 5
Oh.
amps. So like no hot plates, no kettles, no nothing like that.
Yeah, but people did it anyway.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
they did.
Oh, totally.
Some dorms actually had like a shared kitchen space where they were like, if you're gonna
Like a
do the thing,
hostel.
do it in here. Yeah.
It's a hostel. The only downside is you have to keep your own food because if you put it in the common room, it's gone.
He's gone.
It's just gone.
Somebody will take it.
It was eaten.
So
My brother's grad
Um,
school, the grad dorms were the oldest dorms on campus. And like he's like, okay, great, I can plug in my Xbox occasionally.
so yeah, 6 o'clock rolls around. Some of you are, I'm assuming Ken wakes up at 6 for his morning run.
Yeah, got to get out there and start the day. Got to stretch, got to do my morning run, got to do exercises, and then have a nice big breakfast.
Hey, you had a really great time with Alexis last night. She didn't complain about you at all. She talked the entire
It
time.
was great. We had a great time.
She didn't even notice when you paid for dinner.
Nope. It's been
Wait,
a
you
good
paid for
day.
dinner?
Yep.
Mm.
You walked her home.
Yeah, that's what we're
continued
supposed to do on
listen to her
dates,
Walked
yeah.
her back to her
complain.
dorm.
Yeah, I listened the whole time. Did a great job. We're doing great, and I'm getting extra credit probably. Yesterday was a great day.
Oh,
Shame
I
about
thought
the
you meant for
murder.
the date. I was like, wait, what?
No.
Oh yeah.
I was-
No. You're gonna get extra credit. It's just
I
gonna
was-
come later.
I was about to ask Alexis, did you tell Ken I'll see you tomorrow after you went into your dorm? Like as a reflexive, friendly, because you see him pretty
Yeah.
often.
Yeah, probably without even thinking about it, just like, okay, well, see you tomorrow. And then walked in.
She's even talking about spending more time with you. It's great.
Yeah, it's going great. It was a good day.
A+ all around for Ken.
Yeah. Y'all are just jealous that my day's going way better than all of you.
This is going so good. This dissertation's killing me. Literally and figuratively.
Somebody has left their dorm to go get 3 cups of coffee like an insane person,
Yep.
while Heidi
There you
has
go.
signed in to work and has started the usual cleaning. Professor, you wake up at 6 o'clock. What time is your first class?
It's Saturday.
It is Saturday. Do you have Saturday classes?
I mean, if I had at one point, they have been hoisted off onto another professor Because, everyone say it with me now, I have tenure.
So you choose not to torture students on Saturdays, even though you could.
No, absolutely. It's definitely one of those things of, he thought the students would complain when he would cancel or shift them around to like having more, but for some reason the students don't get mad when he doesn't lecture on the weekends. No, so he does still go into the office because now it's Cuthbert time. Cuthbert gets to work. He gets to work on his own projects on the weekend, like grants and papers and things like that.
Right, stuff to make sure that his tenure matters at the school, even though he doesn't actually teach anymore. Really?
No,
Yeah, just assistant bird.
He teaches. He just doesn't do a good job of it. He was holding class.
Excellent, excellent. Who's not on campus at, I don't know, 6:30 in the morning? I believe Alexis is still asleep, but you stay in the dorms, correct?
Correct.
Excellent. All right. So I want everybody to make me a perception check. You can as well, Alexis. You're just going to have to cut your perception in half in terms of determining your success rate.
Well, I am face first into a computer screen, typing away.
Yeah, that's as bad
Editing.
as it can go.
If you rolled exactly your perception, what happens?
That is a pass. You have a low
Yeah.
result.
I rolled 95.
That's a no then.
I
That's a
critically
big no.
fail.
I'm not a
I
morning
rolled
person.
100.
You do critically fail.
medium result
What?
over here.
Another medium result for the professor. Wow. Okay.
He's consistent like clockwork, Tuba.
Alexis, you're asleep, so you don't notice. I figured you were going to fail regardless because I think your perception's what, a 70? Yeah, so you would have had to make a 35 or less because sleeping negatives. Professor, you hear that melody again. Anybody who passed hears the melody. The difference is you have an idea of where it's coming from because it's coming from above you.
Above me on the roof, or above
like-
me, through a couple of feet above me as I look up.
If you look up, it's coming from somewhere vaguely above you, from the direction of the dorms. Rezin, I need you to do me a favor.
Yeah.
I need you to make me an agility check.
Oh,
buddy.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Oh shit!
Oh! Is that a critical result for you?
Yes, it is.
What's your agility?
I think it's 50. Sorry.
That is very good.
You did it.
I did the thing. So we have this.
Sure,
moment
your
where, like,
agility is at 50.
We can double check.
I'm looking at your character sheet right now. Your agility 5.
Is it 25?
You still, yeah, it's a 25.
Yeah.
You still pass, luckily, because you got a high result.
Right. That's fair. I had to close it because my screen started blinking, and the last time it did that, it blue screened. So I was like, I'll just close it just in case. Yes, it is a 25. Oh, perception.
So a
is
25 is a high
okay.
result. A 4 is a high result. A critical result for you is a 1 or a 2.
Right. Okay.
Luckily for
So I
you,
got
that
high.
actually benefits you, hopefully, by giving
I hope.
negatives to what I'm about to do.
I feel like I'm gonna tip coffee.
Okay. So, your feet are no longer touching the ground.
Oh.
And
What?
we're going to go ahead and end with that.
Oh,
Perfect. We're doing a great job.
that's not concerning in the slightest.
real quick before we end, I would just like to remind everybody that tomorrow we are here for coming of Apophysis, where you can get more chances to enter our raffle. Hashtag spooky snack in the chat will get you 2 entries. We have to do it twice. You can do it twice per game, so do it two times. You get 2 entries. For our mystery box that is going to contain some sort of baked delicious goodie from my very good friend Panajon. Some form of Norse Foundry gift cards so you can get some really awesome dice and whatever else John decides to put in the box. I don't know. He doesn't know yet either, so it's going to be a mystery for everyone. But yes, we'll be back tomorrow, 8 p.m. Central for that. And you'll get more chances to win. Sorry, I did not mean to interrupt you. I just wanted to make sure I said that before I forgot.
That's fine. Yes, so I'm ending on a cliffhanger on purpose. Luckily for you, your high result means that your high result has some benefits for you. I will let you know what those are. But congratulations on knowing we end the session and you're staring at the ground from about 50 feet up. Which, by the way, he hasn't had his 3 cups of coffee yet, so you're going to have to reduce that back down to 5.
Okay.
I'll do it next time. I don't know if you noticed, but I put a coffee counter underneath your name on the overlay, and I've been keeping track of how much coffee you're drinking.
Yes. Holy cow.
Also,
Remember,
you should probably look at your end credit. You and Joe, you should probably look at your end credits because I potentially did something fun if it worked the way I wanted it to.
I mean, is it gonna work?
We'll see. We'll see when I put the credits up. We're still live. So yeah, we'll be back for this next Friday, same time. Tomorrow we'll be here for coming up for I can never say that. Coming of Apophysis. And then I think Andrew did that on purpose just to fuck with me because he knew I wasn't going to say it. And then Sunday will be Star Trek. So anything else from anybody else?
I hope people are curious as to what the hell is going on. I've tried to keep it mysterious. Answers should start coming with the next session. Now that you actually have found several clues and have more clues which you have not had a chance to act upon. But we're getting close to that 4-hour mark, and I don't necessarily want to go over. And this was definitely the perfect moment to be like, hey guys, surprise.
Perfect.
All right. Well, everybody have a good night. We will see you back here tomorrow night.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
We are